From downtown, this is Tim Kitzer from NBA Jam, and you're listening to NintenDomain Podcast. Boom shakalaka!
This week on NintenDomain, it's been a week since the Switch 2 Direct, and let's talk about how we feel about it.
Tear if my Switch to pieces. I'm sick of these reports.
I should have pre-ordered my Switch 2 by now. Thanks, Donald.
I guess, I thought we would be in a little bit more positive tone because, we would have possibly pre-ordered our stuff by now. Maybe, I don't know. Everything's kind of in fluctuation. Yeah, today would have been the day, but
yeah.
But here we are. And who are we? We are your hosts. Welcome to NintenDomain Podcast, episode 466. Your place to hear Nintendo fans still talking about the Switch 2. And, last week we recorded right on the day of the Switch Direct, and we've had some time
to was fresh.
To look at some extra stuff and learn more things, and now we can just kind of go through as of what we know now versus then. But we are your hosts. I'm Trey, PSP fan Johnson.
I'm Jeremy, region locked Mikowski.
I'm Vampire Hunter J.
And that's it. No last name.
That's it.
Knitter.
This is one letter. That's it.
Speaking on the region locked thing,
the Knitter is silent.
I'm sure you had learned that as well. The region locked thing is only in Japan, and there's only one version that's region locked of the Switch 2. Is what I learned. So in Japan, they're actually doing a cheaper version because of the price or whatever. There's a third. It's
a budget model.
Yeah. So there's three different Switches. There's the Switch. There's the 450 Switch with no games. There's the $500 one with the Mario Kart, and then there's a third one in Japan that's region locked that is less, that only plays Japanese games.
So it's the same except for it only plays Japanese games.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
You say I don't know what about it would make it cheaper otherwise.
It's just not. It just won't play games from other countries, I guess, and it's $100 less or something like that. I heard about
They're
it.
They're just doing that to try and deal with the yen being weaker and all that, and trying to circumvent people.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. It's like a Japanese exclusive. Where you can just only play Japanese games. For I guess for the maybe the Japanese kids that don't care about other stuff, they just want to play it on the train or whatever. It's like a Switch 2 Lite before the Switch 2 Lite, right?
Horse racing games and train games,
whatever. But anyway, why don't we start off the show as we normally do and talk about games we got and games we've been playing. There's I haven't been playing. I don't know. I've done some things since last week. I went to Champaign to go to the Echo Astral Mannequin Pussy show with Jeremy, and that was fun. We got to see that.
That was really fun.
Yeah, it was a good time. I bought the album. I bought the Pink Balloon album, the vinyl, and I got a T-shirt too. While we were there, you got a shirt too as well.
I also got a shirt. Yes.
And yeah, we were there for however long. I think the show ended at 11 o'clock, and then I went and got some beers and went over to Jeremy's house and played some games. I gave you the Leverless demo. You got to
try out the Leverless, and it was it made more sense to me.
You didn't see any levers.
There's not a single lever to be found, nor an inclined plane.
Well, I just kind of went down the line of different games. I was like, well, here's Street Fighter 2. Here's the original Street Fighter 2 that they released on the first one they released on Switch 1, and just showed how easy it is to do a Dragon Punch with it. And I kind of did my own little demo of it. And I was like, well, you can do this, and you can do delayed moves, and just trying to explain how it works really well as a fighting game controller.
And the pile driver spin.
Oh yeah, I showed you how to do the pile driver spin real easy.
I didn't ever even try
for Zangief also. Yeah. That was something that I was having a hard time with when I first started playing it, because the original one you just rotate the stick and do it, but this one you can actually do it quicker and more precise if you know how to do it right. But yeah, fun stuff. We did that, and then I played a little bit of Guilty Gear Strive just to show you how good it looks, and it is a pretty ass game. And I played almost through the whole arcade mode, and then we kind of fucked around with Marvel vs. Capcom for a while. We did Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Yeah. But we played the Punisher game all the way from beginning to end, so that was fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
We played to the end of it, which I mean,
we've all beat it.
It's a good game, right, Jeremy? I mean, we've
fun.
talked about it plenty of times. Like, what did you think of it?
I felt like needed one of those flags with the blue stripe on it.
No, there was one thing I guess maybe I probably noticed it when John and I were playing it as well, but we kind of noticed that like whenever you blow up a car, there's like a dead guy in it. Like it shows like the skeleton of somebody driving the car, which is kind of like a little like it's super dark. It's like
just some random guy.
Well, it's supposed to be in parts. It's supposed to be like it's like the bad guys driving and dropping off dudes for you to fight or whatever. But when first we saw it, there was just a car there, and I just started punching it, and it exploded. And then there's just a guy there at the driver's, like just completely charred, like all like the skeleton. And I'm like, that's dark. Like you just killed that person in that car just for no reason. Just
maybe
because
it was in
an
illegal
there.
spot.
Yeah,
maybe in front of a fire hydrant or something.
I mean, you still shouldn't be killing people for that. But yeah, it seemed pretty dark. But yeah, it was
vigilante justice is gray. It's very gray.
It's a thing. It's a thing that they do. But no, we played through it. I thought it looked really good. We had a couple beers, and it was a fun time. We compared our characters from Xenoblade X.
We did
a little bit,
and I offered to play Goldmine, but Trey wanted to wait
because you were already at the flying part. I'm there now too. I just wasn't really. I've just been having a lot of fun with the Affinity mission, so I didn't really want to rush the. I didn't want to rush the chapters.
Fair enough.
And also,
well, I've been doing.
I don't want to get stuck again.
Well, I mean, on your advice, I've really slowed down too. Once I could fly, I've just been trying to get all the probes and then.
Yeah, that's what I did too. I mean, we'll get to that at some point, I guess. I guess we could talk about that now. But no, went to Champaign. We played Punisher. We played some fighting games, mostly just Leverless stuff. But I just wanted to be like, here, try it out. Here's what it looks like. The next day, we went to Live Action Games, which I really wanted to go to.
Yeah.
Because I don't think we've been there. I don't think we've been there for like 10 years. Like I was talking to the guy because they moved. He said they had moved locations, but they're pretty close to where they were. They're still kind of like on campus. It's like a used video game place. And we couldn't find anywhere to park, so Jess dropped me off and then went around the block and then parked and then came in. I was talking to the guy. I was like, I don't think I've been here for like 10 years or almost 10 years or 9 years or something like that. But yeah, they had a lot of stuff, lots of very expensive things, but some cool stuff to look at. They had like the deluxe edition of Xenoblade Chronicles X, the Wii U version, selling for like $250 or something like that. And they had a Clock Tower 1 and 2 for PlayStation for like a few $100s. So they had some...
it was like $300 or something, right?
Yeah, something. I think one was like 200 something. I don't know. I sent you guys pictures, but there's a lot of expensive things. I found Xenosaga 2 and 3, Xenosaga 2 for 70, and Xenosaga 3 for like $250, I think, for PlayStation 2 games. And I walked right in and I saw like a Fatal Fury game on PS2, and I was like, oh yeah, no, I like that game. Maybe I'll get that. It's like $70. I'm like, nope.
Yeah, that's who I bought my Xbox 360 from back in the day.
Oh yeah. They actually did have some pretty good deals, though. I ended up buying some stuff from there that I was gonna talk about on here. But yeah, there was was it here? Here's some of the pictures. Yeah, Clock Tower 2 was $400. Yikes!
Well, you could only buy one game, so
Clock Tower 2 was $400. The Xenoblade Chronicles X, the deluxe edition was $200. Like that's like with the box and unopened. I think Clock Tower 1 was like $250. Was like less.
What did this deluxe edition have? Was there like tchotchkes or was it just
probably like an art book? Like it looked like it was a big.
Okay.
It was like a big case. It was like about this big. Looked like two two Wii U games together. But a little bit bigger. They had the physical version of Shredder's Revenge for like $200 on Switch.
Mm-hmm.
And what I thought was cool, they had a unopened Yoshi's Woolly World on 3DS with the Poochie amiibo for $180.
That's actually not too bad. I mean, that's bad, but
yeah,
that's a thing that I could potentially own if I really wanted to, which I don't need to. I have Poochie.
You just crochet your own Poochie.
I have my own Poochie. He's up there.
I mean, I do have. Yeah, I got the Poochie amiibo back here up by the TV also. Yeah, there's yours.
He's by the Piranha Lego, which I don't think I ever talked about.
That's like right there, in front of Squirtle over here. He's down there. But yeah, I have one as well. But no, I was actually looking to get the Yoshi's Woolly World 3DS game just because I never really played the extra stuff, and Jess was playing through Crafted World and wanted to play that one as well. So I was like, well, maybe I'll get the 3DS one.
Maybe we just hold out for the Switch re-release that's apparently coming.
Yeah, there was people spotted it in the direct, so maybe it is happening. I don't know. I mean, I it was just like just play the Wii U one for now is what we decided on because we don't have to pay for that. You could do that one, but no, it was not a bad deal. I found the Nintendo cereal there also, but I didn't ask what the price was. I just thought it was funny that they had it. And I saw Ultimate Spider-Man limited edition for like $300 on PS2. I was like, what? I don't even remember seeing that before. But no, it was cool. I got some stuff while I was there. The first off, I got the Piranha amiibo opened,
That's so cool.
but I've never seen one before. So
how much was that?
It was cheap actually. This Piranha amiibo was $15.
Oh wow, yeah,
Opened.
I would have bought it too.
And Jess found it. It was at the bottom of one of the glass cases, and I've never seen this guy in the wild anywhere. So I went for it. It was already open, but whatever.
That's badass.
I mean,
It's
after seeing the $30 Street Fighter 6 amiibo, which I mentioned to the guy, I was like, yeah, $15 for this dude. Yeah, no,
I bought
I'll do
Poochie used opened. I think it was like $15.
I mean,
or $20.
$15 was like the original. I mean, I think the original came out as like $11.99 or something, like 10 years ago. But I mean, $14.99 is what I expect to pay for an amiibo for like a regular amiibo.
Right.
I know they've gone up through inflation.
And you're going to open it anyway.
But I mean, yeah, this guy looks really cool. Like I like
You
the
should put a little camera in there.
I like the design of it. Like as you can see, the mouth looks awesome. You can see the tongue there. Yeah, this guy's dope.
I really like it. So is the way the neck is shaped? Is that one solid piece? It's just all curly. Oh, I see. It's kind of attached.
Well, yeah, it's attached to the bottom of it, but the design of it's really good.
That is really cool.
You can see like the leaves look really good too, and there's a little notch on the whatever the little plant thing, the plant bucket
To make it look like a terracotta pot.
Yeah. So yeah, this one's awesome. $15 right there. And let's see what else do we get. I got a 3DS game as well. I think it's in here. Should be playing. Oh God, it's moving. I got a Sonic and Sega All-Star Racing Transformed on 3DS for $10. That's just for the cart, no box. But I was fine with
Danica?
that.
Is Danica on that one?
I hope so. I might have to unlock her, but she wasn't available yet from the start. But I think there was a code for her in the Wii U one even. So I've only played them enough to make sure that they worked. So that was the DS game that I got. But one fun thing I realized at Live Action Games is that PlayStation Portable games are really, really cheap. And actually, I looked up their prices online, like on eBay or Price Chart or whatever, and I actually got a deal. Like the ones that they sold them for much less than they were actually worth, so that's cool. But yeah, I found a bunch of PSP games for like really, really cheap, so I just kind of went with it. And I over doubled my PlayStation Portable collection, so I bought five PSP games from Live Action Games.
Wow, you just tripled your collection.
Yeah, that's what I said. Well, I only had one. I only had one physical game. I only have Third Birthday. That's the only physical PSP game that I have. But I bought a bunch of online. Well, obviously I bought a bunch of online games. But
well, shit, you sextupled it.
So I have 6. But I also have I also have UMD movies. I got I have
Toxic Avenger.
I have the He-Man. Yeah, I have the He-Man. I got Cannibal the Musical, which I bought from Lloyd Kaufman at C2E2. And John got me the Toxic Avenger also. So I got some Troma movies. And they actually have the commentaries on them that you can find on Troma.now or Troma Now. If you go to the app, they have all the commentaries on there too. But they have the commentaries from the DVDs or on the UMDs also, which I haven't opened them. They're still sealed, but they told me that. Like Lloyd Kaufman and friends told me that at C2E2, so I believe them.
I wondered, so is that the trend on PSP games that they're kind of cheap?
What do you mean?
Like on the whole, like are you saying that PSP games at the store that you found they were all cheap, or like in total PSP games tend to be inexpensive?
No, I mean, actually, the prices that they were selling them for was less than what it says that the price is for them. So I actually got a deal. Like they were much cheaper. I was just looking at games, just looking at what they had, and they had a section that was just all like portable games, like PSP games, DS games, 3DS games. And I was just looking at everything, and I just happened to notice that the PSP games were not that much, and they were ones that I was interested in. So I was like, oh, well, this one's like $5 or this one's whatever, so I kind of went towards it like that. But when I looked them up online later through like eBay, they were going for much more than I got them for. So that's cool, and they were complete with the like manual in there and all that. So I thought I got a deal. But here, let me just run through them really quick. So I got Killzone Liberation, which I kind of thought this was like a first-person shooter, but it isn't. It's actually a top-down shooter. But I looked up the review on IGN, and this actually got a 9 out of 10 when it came out. And the reviewer said that it was the best PlayStation Portable game at the time. So I got this for $10, and I think it was selling for like 15 or 20 online. And it's it's full like with the manual and everything, So I was like, hey, cool. And I tested all of them, and they all work. I got Mod Nation Racers, which I played the crap out of this on PlayStation 3. At one point, you could say that it was a better game than Mario Kart. There was like only one version of it, but you can make your own characters, you can make your own racetracks. They had some really interesting items in there that were different from any of the ones on Mario Kart. They had this item that would like warp you from one part of the race to like farther down the race, which I thought was really cool. I never really saw that in anything else. And there was no blue shell type of thing. So I really enjoyed these games. And you would grind to
seems like that warp would be the blue shell in a way.
Yeah, kind of. Well, but you could upgrade everything. Like there's like 3 levels of every item. Like if you collect it more than once, you can upgrade it to the second level and the third level, which I thought was really cool as well.
That's cool.
And if you're online, you could see everybody's cool creations. Like I had a whole bunch of different like Jokers from like The Dark Knight and stuff like that I downloaded. But yeah, I really like these games. So I always wanted to try out the PSP one. This one was only $9, pretty cheap. Let's see.
Have you booted all these up and played them?
I've played all of them. Yes, I made sure they all worked. I didn't play them like a lot, but I made sure they all worked.
Make sure they worked.
Yeah. This one I thought was so this one I always wanted to play, Justice League Heroes. This is basically the DC version of the Marvel Ultimate Alliance games. I don't remember ever getting reviewed that well, but I always wanted to just try it out just because I love comic book stuff. And this one was only $15. And something interesting about it, which you might find funny, this actually came from the Champaign Public Library. It has the stickers on it still. And it's got like you can see on the front, it's got all the UPCs, and right down here at the bottom, it says Champaign Public Library. And if you open the game, it says it on the disc as well. It says CPL.
Huh, I wonder if like
on the top. So apparently you could. It's on the manual as well. Champaign Public Library right there.
Really cool.
So apparently you could rent PlayStation Portable games from the Champaign Public Library, and that was like some fun like extra, an extra personality to it, I guess that it had. That it's got that it came from, and it says like PSP Justice on the front. You could see that it's got like the Dewey Decimal System or whatever on it.
Little piece of my hometown there. Well, kind of.
So it was fun. It's like I said, it wasn't reviewed that great, but I always wanted to play it just because I like comics and I get to play as Aquaman and Green Lantern or whatever. It's basically it's a top-down gauntlet style RPG starring DC characters and cool. I'll try that out. But my favorite games out of all these, the ones that I've actually played a good amount of, is I got 2 Hot Shot Golf games for like nothing.
Oh, neat.
So I got Hot Shots Golf Open Tee 1 for $3. I got this game for $3. And these games are actually really good. I mean, they're basically like Mario Golf games.
Yeah.
And these are the ones that I've played the most out of everything we've had. And yeah, they're fun as hell. They're super colorful. They're really easy to figure out. You basically go through challenges, you unlock different items and golf clubs and all that and build yourself up. And they're really good. And I was like, I just, I love golf games, and I just didn't know why they were so fucking low. Like $3 for this? Like, I looked this up, and I saw this selling for $10 on eBay, so I was like, all right. But
that was the greatest hits version. Maybe that's why it went down a little bit.
I mean, I don't care about that, though. I know you do, but I don't.
Maybe dude just has like way too much PSP games, and he's trying to.
I mean, there were a few of them. Yeah, some of them were less, but and I was like, all right, well, $3. But yeah, this is greatest hits one. The game's still the same, but I don't really care. I buy it to play it. It even says greatest hits on the disc. Interestingly, I never noticed that. It actually says at the bottom there, greatest hits version. Because I don't think even the Super Nintendo or the other greatest hits, they never said greatest hits on the cartridge. It only said it on the box. But yeah, this one has it on there.
No one makes physical versions of greatest hits anymore because they can just make them cheap downloads.
Yeah. And I also got Hot Shots Golf Open Tee number 2. So I got 1 and 2, and this one was $5. But like I said, these games are great. Like I actually have I have Hot Shots Golf playing behind me right now on the TV. Oh shit! I turned my camera off. But yeah,
it's turned into a Goomba
right there. It's playing over there through the PSP, which actually you can play your PSP through a TV if you have a component cable. You can get one, and I've done it before on this show. I know I played.
You're doing it right now.
I played the Master of the Universe stuff, but yeah, it's doing the demo of Hot Shots Open Tee back there. But yeah, no, I was really impressed with these games. It's the same, it's clap hands. It's the same ones that did Easy Come Easy Golf, which is a game that I love that I played the shit out of on Switch. It's on Apple Arcade also. But yeah, these games were super solid. Like they're just pick up and play, really colorful. They work really well, and yeah, I was really impressed. So I was like, I should have bought more. I was like, I should have looked for like Tony Hawk. I don't think they had it, but I did look up to see, because there's the Tony Hawk 2 remix that came out on PSP that was different from all the other Tony Hawk 2s, and I saw that going for like $30, $40. So I don't remember that being there, but I was like, oh, I should have looked for other stuff. Like once I was looking at what these actual prices were, they were all kind of double on eBay from what I was getting from live action games. So.
Well, you should make a list of some stuff, and I can go take a look for you sometime, maybe.
Oh, sure, yeah, if you want. I mean, but I ended up getting let's see, I ended up getting like let's see, I got six games and an amiibo for $70, which I thought was a pretty good deal.
Yeah,
I mean, if you break it down, that's like less than $10 a game. Like I got 7 things for $70, so it all
it's a
like
badass amiibo. That's one of my
$10
favorites.
each. Yep.
So it all like pretty much worked out to $10 per item.
I would say that's an amiibo that I would buy.
Which
there's like maybe like 20 that I really care.
That's an amiibo that I would buy too.
Yeah, which I have my receipt right here, $72.95. So $73 for 7 things, which is great.
I really want to get a hold of that.
Really happy to be
Guardian amiibo someday.
The Breath of the Wild one?
Yeah.
Last time I was at Best Buy, it was like last year, I saw it there, like new, in the case. Because they had like re-released
they re-released it.
Mm-hmm. But I haven't been to a
In
Best
fact,
Buy since.
come to think of it, with the new games coming out, they're probably going to reissue all the Zelda ones, don't you think?
They probably will, yeah. I believe it. I bet you anything you'll see, you'll see
Keep
those
an eye
Breath
out.
of the Wild once again at the Switch 2 release, probably.
That's one I just want to actually like take out and pose.
We'll go to, I'm sure, hopefully we'll all get pre-orders and we'll all go to like a midnight launch thing, and it'll be like the Switch one where you come in and it just has all the amiibo just all lined up, right? When you walk in, like that would be great. That's what I'm hoping for. I mean, I don't know if that's going to happen, but
nope.
I'm trying to be positive about it. I'm trying to be
Good
like,
job.
yes, it'll happen. But yeah, no, live action games was really cool. The guy there was super nice, and he put up with me talking about Street Fighter 6.
Or if I can just run down and grab one in Mexico when I'm in Arizona next week.
Yeah, just cross the border. It's real easy to do, right?
Yeah. Let's go grab a Switch 2.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
But yeah, that's what I've been doing aside from Xenoblade Chronicles X, which is the main thing. I'm kind of trying to do the same. Like, there's been games out that I wanted to check out, and I'm kind of doing a pause myself where I'm like, well, I don't know what the Switch 2 is, whatever. I haven't bought any new games really, aside from these 6 used things or 7 used things that I bought. But I didn't get to go to Midwest Gaming Classic, so this was my own way of like, buying some retro stuff from somewhere.
Having your own MGC.
You supported a local business, and you got your champagne merch when you're coming to hang out.
I just wanted to go there, and we waited. We were originally going to leave earlier, and they didn't open till noon, so we went and ate at Cracker Barrel, and then went there.
Nice.
So we could wait because we were just, I don't know, we just kind of wanted to go there.
That's awesome.
We haven't been there in a while, so we're like, let's go to Cracker Barrel, and we saw they had VR there, which I
I
sent you a
love
picture
going
of
to
it,
eat at
which is
Cracker
pretty
Barrel every
hilarious.
once in a while. I do it too.
We haven't eaten there in a long time, but that's like a guilty pleasure, and it was good.
Same.
Whatever. We had a good time there.
I'm disappointed that the VR wasn't just like a barrel you put on your face.
Yeah. It was funny because, like, I went to the Echo Astral mannequin pussy thing, and I like wore my leather jacket and all that, and everybody's like, oh yeah, you're so cool, you got buttons from the 90s, and yeah, somebody actually said that, which is hilarious. Like this one person that Jess and I were talking to, like, can I look at your buttons? I was like, yeah, they're really old, they're from the 90s, and they like went over and talked to their friend, and they're like, that guy has buttons from the 90s. It's like, yeah. It's like, yeah.
You're a living relic, Trey.
It's like, yes, I'm ancient. Thank you for telling me that. But no, one of the bartenders was like, oh,
you're a coelacanth at the show scene.
It's like, you look so cool with your. I was like, you never saw like a punk person wearing a leather jacket. Like they're all over the place. But
the ones who don't care about cows having good lives.
Oh, well, whatever. I mean, I bought this jacket back in 1999 when I didn't even care. But anyway, but I was saying like the reverse of that, you know, super cool at the concert. And then I go to Cracker Barrel and I'm like a fucking alien, and everybody's staring at me, and they're like, "Kick this fucker out!" Like some old lady was just giving me death stares for like however long we were there, you know, being like, "That one, just get him out of here."
I mean, you were there like on Friday morning.
Yeah, we were on Friday morning, but it was packed, like it was full. You know?
I know, it was full of the regulars.
It's full of retired people, yeah. It's
exactly.
old people that
they all meet there every Friday.
Think I'm a fucking alien.
They have their senior breakfast and their coffee, and they talk about, I don't know,
about
garage sales or something.
Their leathers and how they should get
mostly
thrown
garage
out
sales,
of the country.
I think.
But yeah, you know, we had a good time in Champaign. It was fun, to go see Echo Astral and all that. I should post my video on Instagram because I follow them on there and tag them or whatever so they can see it, because I got a pretty good video of them playing Pink Balloons and like the the mosh pit or whatever on the side. So I got
this is an example of a band that sounded better live than the album. Which, not to say the album doesn't
Echo
sound
Astral
great.
did.
Yeah,
I
really liked the how it translated to the live setting. Like really, really good.
Sure. But aside from that, I've been playing a lot of Xenoblade Chronicles X. Obviously, I'm at like 60 hours. I think we're tied because you took a break for a minute there.
Yeah, so I've taken a break.
We're both at 60 hours. I thought about taking a break too, but Xeno's it's like, you know, it's like the warm bath of video games. Like you can just.
Well, I'm not taking a break completely.
You can just get right into it. But I know when we were talking in Champaign when I was there, you'd already got your flying scale and all that, and you'd already got to the gold mine, and I wanted to make sure that I did that before this week. So I did do it. I bet
you were pretty close.
I was. I got to the gold mine, and actually did it like a few days ago. But what I've been doing is just, now that I have the flight scale, I've just been like flying from like section to section to section and finding getting all of the treasures and finding all of like the FN spots and all that. And
oh, you're actually like digging deep. You're not just trying to get the.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of. I 100%ed three of the continents, the three bottom ones.
Like actual 100%ed, not like just found all the.
Well, I have all the FNs, but I don't. But no, it's not like the percentage is that high. But I've gotten a bunch of treasures in each area that I can find them in. It like never ends, because like every time you talk to like some people in New LA, you find new treasures, or like whenever you find another thing, you find new ones. Or
because I have all the probe sites except for like 5 or 6 in Caldros.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm pretty close to that then. Yeah, because I have all of them except for for Caldros and whatever the one under that. I have that, but I've also I was just going like getting like treasure after treasure after treasure and just trying to like complete all of the different sections. And I did a bunch of the tyrants too, like just to get all the check marks on the different parts and all that. So,
yeah, I've been murdering the tyrants. That's fun.
Yeah, so I was going around doing that, and the affinity missions are still my favorite. I've been like blowing through those. We haven't really talked about Xenoblade since it first came out, so it's been like 60 hours later, and I still like it. You're on chapter 10, right? Or are you before chapter 10?
I am on chapter 10. Yes.
Okay, so you did the stuff with Celica and Rock then? The new characters on there. I really like them a lot.
So they're new characters.
No, they weren't. They weren't in the original one.
I was like, why don't I remember them? No, I didn't remember them.
I don't think you got Nagi either. I don't think you got Nagi on your team, which you had to get Nagi also, right, to get to the 10th chapter, or did you not?
I thought Nagi was in the other game.
No, he's in it, but I don't think he was in your party. I don't think you could play as him.
Gotcha.
At least, or if you did, I didn't get to that.
Yeah,
I played it.
I don't have him as a character, but I have like an affinity mission that I haven't.
Oh, okay. I couldn't remember if you had to get, because I know you have to do like 2 or 3 affinity missions before you get into chapter 10. I didn't remember if you had to do the Nagi one or not, but do the...
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay.
Wait, no, I didn't. I found Nagi as part of something I did. I don't know. Maybe it was part of an affinity mission that I had to do.
Yeah, most of the affinity missions give you extra characters, so that's basically what I've been doing them for. I just want to fill out the roster, and I think I only have two people left to unlock out of all the characters. And I think you probably do that after Chapter 10, because after every chapter they'll give you more to unlock, and if you highlight their silhouette, it'll tell you like what affinity missions you have to do to get them.
I keep like buying skills because I have a pretty good cash flow, so I have like extra skills for whenever I find more people.
Oh yeah, I have like 4 million, but I've been saving it because some of those later skills are 6 million. So I've been holding on to.
Yeah, I'm not at level 50 yet, so I haven't even fucked with those.
Oh yeah, I'm at level 48, I think, for my characters.
I think I just hit level 40.
Oh, okay.
I'm either at 39 or about to hit 40.
Because I hit 40. Well, I was at 40 when I was at your house.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you were already ahead of me, and I haven't played much since then, to be honest.
But I've just been. I was gonna say, don't get too many skills because you're gonna have to get the better. You're just gonna have to sell them and get the better ones anyway. I only have like 5, and I just rotate them through whoever I have in my party.
I mean, I don't have that many. I think I have like 6 or 7.
I was gonna say, don't buy like 20 of them.
It's more than my party, but
so you can have all the characters. Yeah.
I also kind of like having the extras in case I don't feel like paying the fee to get one back. I'll have an extra one.
Oh yeah, and you can actually also unlock more because you have the scale insurance for a certain amount of time where you get your scales back for free. But through whatever division you're a part of, you can actually get them as prizes from like depending on how many missions that you complete. So I've actually gotten a bunch of like more scale insurance like through getting division rewards. And it'll tell you in the corner, it'll say like, hey, check your division rewards. And then you can look at it and you can get more free.
Okay. Now I know what you're talking about.
So you have to go to online and then you look and you just pick whatever you want. And you can actually get more scale insurance from there so you don't have to pay for it.
That's what I need to do.
I've only had to pay.
I'm out of scale insurance. I have I'm out of it on one of my, my main character.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've only paid it once. I
like that skill, but I've got 2 extras of that exact model, so.
Did you get the definitive edition one, the new one?
No,
the Hellsberg or whatever.
No, we talked about it, but I have not.
Because that's been the one that I've been using mostly. I like it because it doesn't turn into a car when you go fast, so it's easier to maneuver.
Is the affinity mission in the barracks, like right next to the hangar? Because there's like a new type of scale or something.
Yeah, that's the affinity mission. Yeah, where it's like a new scale. That's the one that's from the new game. And
I can accept it. I just haven't done it yet.
Yeah, you get a new character and a new scale, and she'll come with a scale, but then you can also buy one. But what's really cool about that scale is you don't actually have to buy any weapons for it. You just have to upgrade what it has, and that'll take it up to a higher level scale. And there's an affinity mission later that'll make it into an even more badass skill. Okay. Like farther in the game. It's called like a Hellsberg Lord or whatever. I looked it up because in the trailer it showed that it could turn into a little plane and fly around, and I couldn't figure out how to turn it into a plane. Maybe that's when you get the Lord version or whatever. But I've been obviously been having a great time with it still. I was going to say I've been like on a hold of buying games, just for waiting for the Switch to drop, and I was like, it's like if only I had like a 200-hour plus game to play in the meantime. It's like, well, we do. We got Xenoblade Chronicles X. It's fucking huge, and you can really see the DNA of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom in there.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it totally has the whole like, oh look, what's over there? That's cool. Like, go check that out. It very much has like the environments are really beautiful, and it's like.
It's really hard to stay focused when you see new things.
Exactly. Yeah. It really like encourages you to go check out everything, and the map is designed so well where you'll be like, oh, what the fuck's up there? Well, I can fly, so now let's see what's up there, and like everything is reachable once you get like a flight scale and whatnot, and it's it's the feeling that I haven't felt since like Final Fantasy VI. When you get like an airship for the first time, or like you get your flight scale here, and it's like, oh yeah, no, I can go anywhere, and it's like, and it really everything like feels smaller, but it's bigger now because now there's these bigger guys flying around, and I still get knocked out a lot, but it's just it's just so much more fun to just be able to just go and find all the different probes and just go from like treasure to treasure to treasure and just try to like just max out your amount of what you, and like every mission you do, like even like the heart to hearts, like everything counts a percentage towards each level, and the higher percentage you get, the more moves you get to use as your character. So every fucking mission is important in Xenoblade Chronicles X, which every game has been like that. You have to do all, like, you can try to do like the golden route, but you'll miss out so much because the Infinity missions, you actually unlock specific arts that you won't get even from mastering the classes.
Yeah.
So like if you want to become like super if you want to become OP and a beast and all that, you got to do everything. So, but I'm fine with that because I like this game a lot. So I'm still playing it. I'm still loving it. It's good. It's a good time. Yeah, I found some really weird. I mentioned it at your house, but I found some pretty like dark missions in there. Like, did you get to the church one where the church is like poisoning the aliens, so they can give them the antidote just to get them to believe in the holy water and all that. There's one of the aliens ends up killing themselves like with it. They've been very anti-church for a long time. Takahashi has always been anti-church since like Xenogears, which
there's a lot of people in the town that do not like the little Jar Jar Binks guys.
Oh, the Manons or whatever. Yeah,
they don't like them because they're like
they have a lot of racism stuff in there too.
Yeah, they're so cute and nice, but like their technology is so advanced that
they don't trust them.
Everyone's afraid of them.
Yeah, they work that into like New LA with the different races, but they feel different ways about people. And there was this one mission that I found where there's like one of them is mimicking mimicking one of your characters, and you find out about it, and you call this lady out about it, and you're like, oh, you're doing this, and she flat out shoots herself in the head, with a gun, cool. And I was like, oh my god, this game just goes so dark out of nowhere. Like she just takes a fucking handgun and blows her brains out, and I'm like, what? Wow, okay. Dang. I don't remember that.
It wasn't just a meme in that case.
Well, I was waiting for like the suicide hotline to show up, like whenever you're watching a TV show that has suicide in it, and just have it in the corner be like, call this if you're feeling, like what you would see from like Better Call Saul or whatever. That's what I thought of when I saw it. I was like, oh, where's the suicide hotline on this? Damn, like they really went places with that. But yeah, no, this game is badass.
There's a lot to it. It's very, very, very dense, and it was very dense. And I think that I understand it better than I did before. And quality of life improvements probably have part of what has to do with that. And also, like,
oh yeah, definitely.
It's more popular now than it was back then. It's still not super popular, but more popular than it was then.
It was up on the charts though for some weeks. Yeah. Like after it launched, like it got a lot of sales. Like a lot of people were really all about it, which is, I said that before. I was happy that people are finally like singing the praise of Xenoblade Chronicles X. We've been saying it for 10 years. If I said
I understood like the Frontier Nav thing, I would be lying. I still don't completely understand it, but I have managed to manipulate my stats because there was one, I remember there was one where I just did not know what to do. I had to like get a certain amount of income to in one round to...
Yeah, there's a few like that. You actually have to do it you have to do it to get the scale too. Like on
so
the
I just
scale one.
Yeah, I literally just went and like got rid of a bunch of my probes.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you get rid of all the mining ones, like your income will go up higher.
Yeah,
but the research ones are the ones you want to have, and I don't. I don't have that many of them. I have much more mining ones than I have research ones. Same. But also, you want to have the research ones mixed with like the multiplier probes, and there's strategy to it, like whether they're connecting to each other, and they're all kind of like, well, but if they're connected, they'll be higher. So if you have like two research probes next to each other, they'll be higher. But you can do research probes level, plus like a multiplier probe also that'll make those two higher as well. So there's a lot of different stuff you can do. Like there was a side mission that I found that's like get 70,000 per round, and I'm like, oh well, I'm nowhere near that. I'm at like 35,000, I think.
Well, the thing about it that's rough is that you can't just go buy the probes. Like you can't grind.
No, yeah, you got to find them. You got to find them in the wild.
Them. And you can't like if you misplace a probe, like it's destroyed when you replace it, right?
So I don't know. I don't think so. I think you switch them.
It goes back in your inventory.
Yeah, that's what I thought. You just have to pay a little bit to switch them, but I don't think you lose them.
I thought you were losing them, but yeah, maybe.
No, I think they stay. I think they stay in your roster or whatever.
Well, that's good. I understand a little bit more about Frontier Nav from you saying that.
Yeah, I understand a lot more than I did. And the other was it last night. I just realized that when you're how you can like upgrade like every like item and every piece of armor that you have, like every weapon. I don't know if you've gotten that far yet, but you need specific items to upgrade things, and you can actually mark the items that you need, and they'll show up on the map. Which I was like,
I know
that is so fucking cool.
I haven't
you
done
already
that
knew about
yet,
that.
I saw that. Well, no, I saw that was a thing, but I don't know. It just adds to how dense it is. Like I could just go off in pursuit of upgrade elements if I wanted, and that's all I could do for hours and hours.
Because I think that's a quality of life thing that wasn't on the Wii U version. Because I was trying to upgrade my skill all the way, And I was like, well, I don't know how to find these supple leather or whatever. And you can just mark it, and it's like, well, here's where it is. And it'll count as a mission. It'll say that, hey, you got all of them to upgrade. And then you do it again, and you can be like, all right, well, I want this. And then it'll show it as a mission point on the map.
Oh, I didn't know it did that.
And it'll tell you when you have enough to upgrade it. And I was like, this is so cool.
That is really cool.
Yeah, so it's it just keeps giving and giving. It's 60 hours in. I could very well see myself playing this for 200 hours.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know, everything about how much more accessible it is on the Switch with the quality of life and just the fact that it's on the Switch, not on my Wii U, sadly, makes it more easy to play and more accessible to like boot up just for a little bit.
For sure.
And I don't know, it was just kind of a whole rigmarole to get it to boot up on the Wii U, and the load times are crazy. Like the load times in this, like I remember saying earlier, or maybe it was you, Trey, who said early on there was like no load times. That's not true. There's plenty of loading.
What I meant is there's no load times like while you're in the map. Like when you walk from one spot to another spot on the map, there's no load times. But when you like fast travel from one thing to another, there is a couple seconds of load times. But like you can, just like the other Zelda games, you can walk from one corner of the map to the other, and you'll never have to deal with. Like it loads the entire world at when you get on there. So that's what I meant by no load times.
I will say the maps feels very small in comparison to Tears of the Kingdom, but
I think it's bigger actually. Tears of the Kingdom has the different layers, but the map on Xenoblade X is actually bigger than the map of Breath of the Wild.
Okay.
Like as far as distance goes, at least that's what I don't know. That's what I read online.
Well, I've never moved as quickly in either of the Breath of the Wild games as you do in Xeno. Like your skill when you're flying goes very, very fast.
Oh yeah, and even when you can run, I mean, I like that you could. That's like I think it's the only Xenoblade game you can actually run like that too, and do the big jumps and whatnot. So you'll miss it in the other ones. I know I did, but glad you're still enjoying
a neat game. Yeah, I am enjoying it. I've taken some time off. Like I said, it wasn't completely voluntarily. Like I've been working a lot, so when I play games, like I mostly play dumber games.
Like what? What else have you been playing? I'm done with my stuff.
Well, the other game that I ended up getting hooked on this week, I'm not super proud of it. It came out a long time ago, and I believe it's on the Switch as well. It's a game called Arcade Paradise.
Yeah, I put this on the deals because they were selling it for $3 on Switch, and I bought it, and I still haven't played it. But you played it?
It's on PS Plus, so yeah, it was one of the games got added, but I think it came out in like 2022 or 2023. It's a fairly old game.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it's
been out for a minute.
I was gonna say I don't know if it's that old. I thought it came out last year or the year before. I guess that would be, I'd say like 2023 or 24, but it really doesn't matter.
I've been curious about this game. So what is it?
So it's kind of like a Stardew kind of thing where you inherit something. You just have it's like you're like, I think you're supposed to be like 19 or something, and it's the early to mid 90s, and your dad is like some kind of real estate mogul who has all these businesses and stuff, and he's like, well, you can't, you're good for nothing, you can't do anything. I'm gonna have you run this laundromat, and while you're running the laundromat, you realize like there's this door, like somehow you get behind this door and you find there's like 2 arcade machines back there, and you plug them in, and people start like going back there to like play arcades while they're doing their laundry. And it sounds more story driven than it really is. Like all the story is from this computer you go to where your dad's emailing you, and it's just a game where it's a sim game. So you're just running a laundromat, you do laundry, you literally like pick it up, put it in the washing machine, take it out of the washing machine, put it in the dryer, take it out of the dryer, put it on the table. You don't have to fold it, luckily, but you put it on this table, and you do that, and you get money based on that. And then you also have to keep the place clean, so you get money to pick up all the trash. You go out to the dumpster, and there's a little mini game where you like have to time your throw correctly to get it into the dumpster, and you make money off of that. And it's just like all this like making money to buy more arcades, and then once you buy all the arcades you can, then you can like expand your arcade, and you have to save up even more money to do that. So that's what I've been doing, and I've been playing that in little spurts here and there and trying to build up my arcade business.
You get to play the arcade games?
Yeah, you can play all the arcade games too. And they're like I don't know, they're pretty true to like 80s to early 90s arcade games, I would say. And the more you, I guess, and I learned this after I'd been playing the game for a bit, but the more you play the game and the further you get into it, the more money you'll make off of it when you like collect the coins out of it, because it'll like become more popular. You can also like rearrange the arcade. You can like, move the machines around, and there's some sort of like formula to how like if you put like a game that's not doing well next to one that makes a bunch of money, maybe that other one will start making more money. And I don't completely understand everything that's going on, but I just keep like playing it because it's a mindless game. I just go around, I do laundry, I clean up trash. Oh yeah, you have to like clean the toilet, like make sure the toilet stays clean, and yeah, go around, pick up trash, get all the money out of the tills, and throw them. You have to like play a mini game to deposit the money in the safe, and then it becomes available on the internet. And then like there's this whole thing I don't completely understand, but you can like upgrade your stats, but you can only do that using pound sterling. And so you have to do these other like separate quests to upgrade your stats, and then pay pound sterling through some British version of eBay. It's hard to explain, like, other than it's not. I don't know. You can just play, and you've got a little watch that lets you know when you need to go switch your laundry, so you can go play a game for a little while, but you'll like, be playing the game and having a good time, and then your wrist will go up and it'll be like, oh, I need to like switch the laundry over. So you have to like leave the arcade and go. If you don't do it fast enough, then you like make less money because like the clothes are wrinkly or whatever. It's a lot. It's a total waste of time, but it's been working for me lately.
It sounded fun.
And I've been playing it through streaming. I didn't even download it because I was like, this game doesn't look like something I care too much about, but I'm going to just do the streaming play.
Oh, I didn't even know you could do that for that.
And that's what I've been doing. And then I was like, I actually like this. I should download it. I haven't downloaded it yet, but
Let's say it's probably not that big.
It's not, but I make a big point of like actually finishing out the day and stuff because I don't want to lose my progress.
Oh, does it only save when you get to the end of the day?
Because if you pause the game and walk away, it'll quit on you.
Oh, because of streaming?
Yes.
So it's kind of like playing a cloud game.
It is a cloud game.
Yeah, interesting.
It's literally a cloud game. But I could download it for no cost. I just haven't yet. But for whatever reason, I bet I've put at least 10 hours into it. It's just it's fun to run around and make the numbers go up.
I had a hard time. Just the idea of making enough money at a laundromat to buy arcade games is just too far fetched for me to for me to actually play it, because I don't think that's possible. But no, I do have it. It was on sale. It was $6 on Switch, and I know Seth Macy had talked really highly of it on NBC, and yeah. I like him. So I mean, it sounded like a fun thing. So I bought it for $6. I bought it with The Thing Remastered, which I also have not played, but I bought both of those games together, and yeah, I mean, I was like, maybe you can sell me on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like there's like a very vague story happening through. You've got like a chat window, so it's supposed to be like AOL Instant Messenger or whatever. So I guess it's supposed to be like late 90s. You can talk on this Instant Messenger to people, and then you'll also like have different online places you can go to like buy the arcades, or eventually I think I can get pinball machines and stuff. I'm not at that point yet, and then you can kind of choose where in the arcade they are and move them around and go around and clean up trash and collect money out of the machines and play the machines if you want. It's totally like a dream, but also just you realize you're just doing work in a video game. I mean, it's like any other sim like that. You're not at your actual job. You're doing a job in a video game. But I like it.
Yeah, no, I'll have to give it a try. Like I said, I have it. I have it already. I should try playing it.
But I mean, other than Xeno, that's all I've really played. And yeah, I haven't played Xeno for several days. I need to boot it up.
Yeah. I saw there's a couple days off. I thought maybe some other PlayStation thing had taken you away from.
I've just been working a lot.
Oh yeah.
And so when I'm not working, like at night, I come home and I watch dumb TV, or I've been playing this game, and oftentimes I'll just like fall asleep.
Need something.
Fall asleep. I went to bed before 11 the other day. It was crazy.
Oh wow. I only do that when I work early, which
I worked
whenever that happens.
I worked early, but like not that early. I just went to bed before 11 and slept for like 10 hours or whatever. It was great.
Yeah, I do that once in a while.
I woke up at like 3 p.m. today, so it's the latest I've slept in a while. But I just couldn't get myself to get out of bed.
I was sick about 2 weeks ago because I got a vaccine and I had a reaction to it for like 2 days.
Oh yeah.
And I ended up sleeping for 36 hours.
Oh
Holy
wow.
shit.
Yeah.
Like
well, I was
straight?
in bed. I should say I was in bed for 36 hours.
Oh, okay.
So I was sleeping for
Were you like
probably
playing
half
your
that
Switch
time.
and stuff?
Because
I didn't even play my Switch. I just felt so groggy, so bad from the vaccine that I was just like, I just want to watch stuff. I couldn't think straight.
I
Yeah,
hate
normally
that
like
so much.
yeah, a lot of times that's happened to me before with the vaccine where it just like knocks you out and you just need. I mean, most of the time I just need to sleep for a while and then I'll feel fine.
Mhm.
I'll just feel really knocked out, then I'll just take a nap for a few hours and then I feel fine. But I mean, it depends.
I was sick for a day, and then I was good. So that's the trade-off, with the vaccines and stuff. Yeah, Jeremy, if you're done,
I'm pretty much done. I was going to say I played some more Donkey Kong 94, but I didn't make. I think I'm about to go into the third world or whatever. It's a cool game, but
I still haven't played that yet on Game Boy.
there's some. Like,
I played
I
it.
don't know.
I played the
Some of the
cartridge.
puzzle stuff is starting to annoy me a little bit, but I can understand why it was fun at the time. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
I liked it a lot. I mean, I played it. I bought it. Like I still have the cartridge of it. I played it a lot, like in physical form, but I haven't played the Switch version of it yet.
I wish I could say it's mindless, but it's not. So like that's why I don't. I can't. You actually have to think when you play that game.
Oh yeah, it can get tough.
well, for me, I just got back from watching one of my favorite movies in the theater, which I'd never seen in the theater before. I saw Vampire Hunter D, the classic anime from 1985. I love that movie. It was basically my first exposure to anime. I think I've told this story on the podcast before. I don't know.
We did do a whole anime episode on the Patreon.
We did. Yeah, so it's probably back on there.
Patreon.com/NintenDomain podcast. Check it out.
I'll give the short version of it. So there used to be this catalog called Things You Never Knew Existed. This was like when I was in 5th grade or so. I think I took it home from the school book fair, and looking in the back of this catalog, it was like, hand buzzers and whoopee cushions and, prank gifts, like things that would be interesting to, a 12-year-old. And so at the back of this catalog was like, there was a couple of movies, and one of them was this like weird looking cartoon with like this really intricate Japanese drawing, and like that just caught my eye. And it said, in the year 12,090, the earth is overrun by vampires. Like, oh my God, I'm in. I need to see this movie, whatever it is. And it was Vampire Hunter D. I had no means of watching the movie at the time, because certainly if I showed that to my parents, hey, can you buy me this movie? No, this is clearly like an adult movie. I'm not gonna get to watch this movie. And so it was just like something that I was in the back of my mind for all that time, for like a good 5 years or so, before finally one day I walked into a Blockbuster. I was 17, and there was that same drawing that I remembered from the catalog. It's like, holy crap, that's that movie. I gotta rent it. And I was 17. I could rent an R-rated movie at the time, and I rented it, took it home, and that was it. So I was a huge fan of Vampire Hunter D from then on. So, and yeah, I'd probably watched a few anime things before then, but I think that was the one that really like clinched it for me. That was like, I need to dig in on this and find out all I need to know about anime. So I've seen this movie 40, 50 times. There was a period when I would watch it like clockwork, like every 2 or 3 months or so. It was just time to watch Vampire Hunter D. So this year happens to be the 40th anniversary of the movie. And it was about 2 months ago. I think I even mentioned it on the show too, that it came up that they were doing these nationwide screenings. And so if anyone's interested, actually, if this comes out on Friday, you would be able to see it tonight, Friday night, because it's playing. Today's Wednesday as we're recording this. It's playing Thursday, and then it's also playing on Friday. So I would urge anybody who has not seen this movie to go see it in the theater, and you're gonna have a great time. Because to me, it's just a movie that really, really holds up. Not only is it like, my first introduction to anime, and I like it for nostalgic reasons and all that. Like, it's just a great movie. Like, really great movies have like, I don't know, 2 or 3 set pieces where you go home and you talk about, well, that was a cool scene, whatever. This is one of those rare movies that like every single scene is a set piece. Every single scene, you can go back, dissect it, figure out why it worked, and just like, it's just memorable through and through. And then all of the characters, I was really noticing this time around, they get their fair share. Every character who's introduced, first of all, just visually memorable. Like, the visual designs in this movie, again, inspired by that Yoshitaka Amano design from the original book, because this was a book series first in Japan, and Amano did the illustrations. Amano, who also worked on Final Fantasy and other video games and stuff. So starting with his amazing character designs and all that, visually all the characters get their due, certainly, but then story wise, they also have depth. There's this like good versus evil going on, where a bunch of characters who are on the side of this vampire who is overtaking the whole town. You think, oh, these are all just the bad guys, but no. As you go into the movie, they all have their own motivations, and they're all like thinking characters who can kind of do their own thing. And there's just depth to every character. I think really well portrayed for basically I think it's a 90 minute movie, maybe 100 minutes tops. It's like a nice, brief, breezy type of movie where you feel like not a minute is wasted. And just, man, the action, if you want to just go for the action is fantastic, especially considering 1985 and what they could do with animation at the time. Like, they were really, really pushing it. Yeah. What more can I say about this movie? It's a classic, and everybody should go see it. It's a beautiful movie.
Would you say it's delightful?
It's delightful. It's delicious. It's
all of the things.
Andy.
I was gonna say, I think you can find the whole thing on YouTube too.
I've heard it's depressing.
I was gonna watch it. At some point. I just didn't get around to it. But yeah, it's like 80 minutes. Not even 90 from what I'm seeing on here.
Damn.
Yeah,
that's a long episode.
A quick and
it's like half of one of our episodes.
You watch this movie twice while you're listening to our episodes.
Well, last week was almost 3 hours.
Just turn on captions for our episode.
But that's what I did this week. As far as video games, I'm saving for Switch 2. So
aside from, I think we all are, because we thought the pre-order was going to happen today. So it's like kind of, there's been some like sales here and there. There's stuff that I want to get, but I'm like, you know what? You can just wait, because you don't know.
I've got a Switch 2
what's going to happen.
I want it.
Yeah, you don't know what's going to happen. Plus, I have a thing. I'm going to see New Japan Pro Wrestling this weekend also, so I got to say.
Oh wait, Trevor's going to that too.
Is he?
Yes.
Oh well, I should text him, and maybe we can see each other. I'll hit him up after this. Yeah, no, I'll be at Windy City Riot, so he'll be there too. So hooray! I'm sure Caitlin's. I never see anybody there, aside from people I might have dated once or twice. I ran into this one girl that I went on like 2 dates with once, and it was really weird.
But, you should have been like, I'm married now. Bye.
No, she was. Yeah, it was the whole thing. She was like yelling at me, and I'm like, not like madly at me, but it was weird. It was
the energy of a wrestling show.
I was like, I completely forgot who you were. Like, I really did. not remember that person. But yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Fucking playa.
Anyway, let's take a break, and we'll come back and talk about
Alrighty.
Other Nintendo stuff, which I know we've been watching a lot of Switch 2 stuff. So stay tuned for that.
Hey, you.
It's me, Mario.
Yeah, you. Subscribe to our Patreon to hear our bonus shows, which happen every month.
I'm tired.
Tired of all the big corporate podcasts spoon-feeding you the same old video game news on every single show?
Spaghetti. Ravioli.
Then expand!
With NintenDomain Expansion Pack.
It's us talking about old games that were important to us. It's us interviewing people that we meet at conventions. And heck, it's live shows from those same conventions. It's basically everything you could want that NintenDomain ever made.
Here we go!
And it's just $1 a month.
That's less than a bad indie on the eShop.
It's $12 a year, which is less than Nintendo Switch Online.
Thank you so much for subscribing to our Patreon and supporting NintenDomain.
Just go to patreon.com/NintenDomain podcast and, hey, Mario, let go. Whoa! He's throwing us back to the show.
So long, Bowser.
Patreon.com/NintenDomain podcast.
Game over.
Anyway, all right, let's get back. All right, we're back from the break. So yeah, it's been a week since the Switch 2 Direct. There's been a lot of stuff out there. You know, we had like multiple tree houses. You know, a lot of like, you know, they were trickling out the information. You know, well, I guess we did talk about the price and all that, but now there's been like even more shit where there were tariffs, but now there's not tariffs. Like where there's going to be pre-orders, but now there's not pre-orders, and I don't know. It's kind of
Well, they're definitely not going to be when they said they were.
yeah. Now it's like
Because
90.
that would have already happened.
Now there's
That
like a
would've been
90-day delay or so. I don't even fucking know.
That's late breaking news. Yeah.
Just let me get my fucking Switch 2, damn it.
It's so
Please.
stupid.
Wait, hold on. Late breaking. Hold on. This is new. Late breaking news?
Late breaking
90
news.
days?
Yep. Yeah, the 90 days thing that was just announced about
That was
6
like
hours
today,
ago, 7
right?
hours ago.
Yeah, as Wednesday,
So
the 9th, when it was
So,
when the pre-orders were
yeah,
supposed to go up.
of course, Trump announced all his tariffs and all that shit. Like everybody was getting huge tariffs. Japan had like 40-something% and Vietnam 46%.
Well, that was the big deal.
And that's where the Switch is manufactured.
Yeah, the production of the Switch is in Vietnam. So like that was a big,
China
that was
had the
big thing.
biggest one, like 104%.
Now
Okay,
it's like
so-
125.
So that was like 2 or 3 days ago as of this recording, something like that. But then this afternoon they just said, "Oh wait, actually, we're going to put a 90-day pause on all these tariffs, these major tariffs."
Oh, wait, I knew about
China's,
this.
China's still going to get
I think
theirs, but
Nintendo put a 90-day pause on
what's up?
pre-orders.
No, Nintendo just said that they were delaying the pre-orders
Okay.
indefinitely.
To assess.
Well, they
Okay, the
said
90 days is the national news. I knew about that.
90 days
So-
is fucking Truth Social or whatever. It's like fucking
Yeah.
what Trump said.
Right,
on
right,
that
right.
shit.
Yep. And basically what it boils down to is Trump caved because he wiped out $6.5 trillion from the stock market with his stupid tariffs.
So he could buy low and sell high.
Yeah, I've seen that too. Yeah, people saying like, yeah, knocking it down so rich people can get richer.
I mean, he literally said, like, it's a good time to get rich. He said that in the press.
Oh yeah, I try not.
Yeah.
I try not to see any more of him than I have to.
But now he's in our space. Now he's fucked with our beloved Switch 2 pre-orders.
This was like
So,
a top
yeah.
article on CNN and stuff about how
It was,
pissed off
because-
gamers were.
Yeah, it was.
Because the Switch 2 was being announced at the moment that the tariffs
Yeah.
were announced, and so it's essentially the first major product to be impacted by these tariffs. And so yeah, it made a little bit more news than it would have because of that.
Switch is the release of the Switch 2 is the most important thing in socioeconomic I don't know. That's crazy.
Right.
Versus like where Nintendo was with the Switch 1 launch, which was big, but not that big. It didn't matter. Like the world economy wasn't on the table as much at the time.
Well, we were in Trump times too, though. Don't forget,
We were.
It's a 2017 coming off of the 2016 election, so
But he was just a
we
little
were in
guy.
another like
He didn't know what he was doing yet.
Yeah, I mean, it
He
was
still doesn't know what he's doing.
it was fucked, but it wasn't as fucked, I guess, right? Like Trump 2.0 was
Right.
going to be way more fucked than it was before, but we were still
He
in
wasn't
Trump
taxing
times.
the penguins at the time or tariffing the penguins.
Two switches, two Trumps, two switches. Like, wow, yeah, that's ridiculous.
Depressing.
Yeah.
Who knows who'll be in power when Switch
It's the other
3
side
comes
of the
around?
apocalypse. The Cubs are going to win next year, and we're all fucked.
It's definitely not going to be the White Sox.
Damn, they're in different leagues even.
Well, I mean, the White Sox had like the worst season of any season ever last year. I don't really follow baseball, but I know that like they did really, really terrible, and they had a World Series before the Cubs did.
I know. Blah blah.
Of recently.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, yeah, Switch news. Yeah, tariffs. Maybe they're happening, maybe they're not happening. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Now there's supposed to be a 10% for all these other countries besides China. Everybody's supposed to get a 10% tariff, supposedly, but 90-day waiting period or something. Yeah, like bro, keep your inside thoughts to yourself until
It's
you
back to that, like
plan,
everything's going to happen in 2 weeks thing. It's just now it's all going to be in 90 days, which is extended 2 weeks.
You know, like all those old games, like Bad Dudes or whatever, like where like the president gets kidnapped. I was thinking about this the other day. I just wish wouldn't it be funny if that happened? Like somebody from another country who was like, "Oh, we're here to kidnap your president," and everybody would just be like, "Here he is! Like, just we're not going to stop you. Just walk in and take him, please.
Yeah,
Get him out of here. Like we don't need him anymore." Like that's what I was dreaming of, is that somebody would just come to take him away, and that the Secret Service or whatever would be like, "Take him. Like we don't fucking care. Get him out of here."
They'd be all like, "Huh?"
Be like, "Oh, we're here to kidnap your president." It's like, sure, you can have him, but please, like, just take him away for however long. We never.
Hold on, don't forget his diaper bag.
Yeah,
we got this for you.
Whatever else. Here's a spray tan. You can take that with you too.
So Nintendo delayed the U.S. pre-orders, and then just yesterday,
The Canada too,
announced that they were following suit.
Yeah, because you had a
And
whole
also-
plan. John was trying to make a Canada plan, right, for breaking, trying to
so
jump the border.
I was actually doing.
And
the
I was
research 'cause
going to send you cash if this plan worked out.
I was going to offer. So actually, I mean, it still might. I don't know. Maybe they will have better availability in Canada or whatever. I don't know. Everything's on the table. So I think.
I was just listening to Axe of the Blood God yesterday, where Naughty was like, "I'll be fine because I'm in Canada," and I'm like, "Nope," because I already knew that the Canada got delayed too. So
Yep.
Yeah,
So
because it's part of the same continent.
I'm an hour's drive from Windsor, so that's why I was looking it
Oh,
up.
okay, yeah.
could
I didn't realize
actually
you were
go?
that close to Canada.
Well, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Michigan. You're
Yeah,
right there.
I can be at the bridge in about 40 minutes or so.
Wow.
It's a port of entry and all that crap.
Yep.
I made a pact, made a pact with Jess. I'll make it with you too, of course. If any of us can actually if any of us actually see a pre-order or whatever, like if you want to do like multiple ones, like I will, if you can cover it,
Sure.
I will pay. I have the money.
Same.
I can pay
Same.
you automatic. I told Jess, I was like, if you ever come across anything that says pre-order, whatever, just do it, and I'll pay. I have the money for it. Just if you happen to see something before I do, just don't hesitate. Just go for it. So
Yep.
I don't know.
I'm
That's
gonna keep my
kind of
eyes
seems to
peeled
be
to
where
them.
it's at now, right? Like even when I was seeing the UK ones,
Yeah,
I tried to do
same.
that and it was like already gone. When I clicked
Oh,
on
you
it,
actually
it was already
tried?
gone. I tried. It was gone.
Hmm.
Oh,
I saw people posting about it in NBC.
Well, I went through the links and I wanted to see if I could actually get to it. And yeah, right when I got to the website, it's like they're all gone. And I was like, okay, well, because I was like, if it's
I keep
there,
refreshing my
I'll try
inbox and
for
my
it.
email.
Why not?
Yeah.
It's region free, so we'd get it. from
Supposedly, I don't know. According to one headline, I'm only going by headlines. I mean, it makes sense, but there's already stock in the terrestrial U.S. It's already here.
wherever. Didn't we hear about
that's
that
the-
like
that
a
was
while
from-
ago that they
I guess
sent them
so,
out?
but-
Actually,
Yeah.
I heard about that too from Doug Bowser on the CNBC interview.
Well,
Is that
well,
where that's from?
I mean,
He said
we
just the
talked
same
we
thing.
talked about it on this podcast too, like a month ago.
I believe
that we
it.
had
I
heard
just
that there was
don't
already
remember it.
stock in
We did,
America.
Yeah, he reiterated on that interview. He was sure to reiterate that there's already stock here in the country, which I think was like a low key way of saying we don't have to pay tariffs on these because they're already here.
Yeah. Plus, they have a whole like tunnel where they're just like shooting them through.
Just going through down the warp pipe.
Straight into Nintendo New York.
I mean, I saw like whatever business analysts saying like, oh, I don't think the price will change now, and I was like, well, I hope so. I hope it doesn't.
Yep. I was just trying to educate myself this week. I know about the tariffs and all that, but I was unclear about like if I go to Canada, because I don't do shopping in Canada like a lot of people over here do. So I had to educate myself.
And vice versa, right?
And vice versa too. Yeah, people from Canada come here and shop.
So like Costco and stuff. Because when I was in Bellingham, Washington, it was several years ago now, but like there was a Costco there, and like they're like, yeah, all the Canadians come down here to the Costco because they didn't have one at the time. I don't know if they do now, but
yeah, maybe they do now. But I know like a lot of Americans go to Canada to get their drugs and all that. But I was just trying to educate myself. Like, there's a certain limit. I think that certain value that you go to buy a bunch of stuff in Canada, and if it's under a certain value, you don't have to pay a duty on it, I believe.
Right.
So I got to figure out, what that number is.
You just got to get rent a light plane, and then you can get duty free.
What fly there on your own?
Get a plane.
You just have to buy it while you're in midair. I think that's how it works.
That's right.
Just make sure you wipe yourself so there's no duty. You have to worry about your own duty.
Well, you got
duty free.
I mean, if you get a light plane, it comes with a bidet nowadays.
Hope so.
Spelled DETS.
But yeah, I don't know how do you want to go at this news, John? You're normally our news person.
Yeah, so I there was so much news. I tried to break it down, compile it into
how much of it is
news.
Still real. I mean, it's all relevant, but it's still so. I don't know. It's still so. Yeah, it's changing all the time, right?
Ever evolving. Yeah, some of it's confirmed, some of it's not. But
amorphous. That's the word I was looking for.
I do have questions though. I mean, that I put in the notes. What maybe you guys maybe you've seen more than I have, or maybe you know. What I want to know is, can you do game chat if you don't have a new controller that doesn't have a C button? Is there a way to game chat without the C button?
I don't know how you wouldn't have a new controller with that, because you would have the Joy-Con.
You would have the Joy-Con.
I know, but I mean, true. But is it like
if you're using your 8-bit DOE, can you dig into the menu and go to game chat that way?
Well, I figured that.
You can probably program a button.
My 8-bit DOE has extra buttons on the back of it, so I could probably make that C button. But that's kind of what my questions are, because all of the Pro controllers for the old one work for the new one. That means probably that all the 8-bit DOEs will work on the new one too. I'm not planning on buying any new controllers, aside from maybe the GameCube one, which apparently only works on GameCube, which I don't believe that.
Yeah.
I mean, the N64 controller worked in everything.
By the way,
the NES one did too.
Have you ever tried to play your GameCube controller to play any virtual console on the Wii? It was terrible. The GameCube controller is awful.
Well, you could say because of the placement of the buttons or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think it would still you can still use it. I wouldn't think it would just none of the buttons would work when you try to push them.
Right.
It should still show up as a Pro controller. Yeah,
I agree.
So I mean, I don't know what that's all about, but yeah, that was a new thing we saw today that maybe that wasn't working. But
it doesn't even work for Smash. That's unbelievable.
Well, Smash Melee is going to come to.
Well, they didn't confirm that because Smash for 64 didn't come to the 64 app. They've never re-released any of the old Smash games on Virtual Console.
They did.
Weirdly,
they did on Wii U.
No, not Smash 64. It never came out.
Are you positive?
Yes, it didn't. It did not come out.
I swear I remember playing Smash on the Wii at some point. Maybe it was the original Wii, but not the Wii U.
I mean, you probably played. You could play Melee on there through the GameCube
original
thing.
I thought.
I don't think they've ever re-released any of the original Smash games through Virtual Console. I don't think so. I mean, or if they did, I didn't get them. But I mean, I didn't think they did. I guess we could find out.
I want to check this out.
I can fact check it right here.
I thought for sure you could play it on the Wii.
Yeah, maybe the first one was on 64, but on the 64 app. But I guess I never got it.
While you're looking it up,
it was on the Wii U Virtual Console.
It was on the Wii U. Oh. Mm. So I kind of broke a bunch of this news down.
Why not on the 64 app on Nintendo Switch? I
agree.
I don't know. They don't want to give it away for free. It's too valuable, I guess.
I mean, you pay like $50 a year. It's not free.
Yeah. So I broke it down. And first of all, let's start with a bunch of positives. I got a bunch of positives, and then a bunch of negatives, and then a bunch of other categories of news, right? So they say that third-party developers are saying that Switch 2's horsepower makes them extremely happy. So that's great. Good news. It might just be marketing speak from people who are currently at a Nintendo event and would feel weird criticizing Nintendo's horsepower at their event.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I kind of believe them. I'm inclined to believe them from what we've seen from the third-party games.
I'm inclined to believe that Nintendo's doing what they always do, where they like innovate and then somebody else is innovating in a different space and they see what they do. So like kind of like with Apple, Nintendo had the first like touch screen thingy, but then the iPhone came out. I don't know. Like I think that Nintendo has been studying like the things, especially like the Steam Deck that's come up. That's kind of like a Switch. And I think that the Steam Deck was in the mind of the designers of the new Switch as they were making it.
I think so too. And I think that like with games like the Donkey Kong game, I'm surprised at how, I don't know if they're on par with PS5. I mean, I pretty safely say they're not on par with PS5, but man, it looks
maybe PS4 Pro.
I mean,
it looks competitive.
I was watching I was watching a Switch Ups, like their own take on Switch 2, because I like their stuff a lot, and they put the Switch 2's hardware above the PS4 Pro is where they put it, but still but still pretty far below PS5. But they also put it above the original Steam Deck, like not the OLED, but which I've heard other people say that as well. So pretty far ahead of that original one also.
Which was the OLED like? Did it have better like internal specs, or was it just a different screen?
Apparently, I don't know. I mean, they were saying that it was above the Steam Deck, but other people are saying that the OLED that it was different. But I don't know. Like, don't quote me. I don't really know anything about the Steam Deck. But I was watching the what is it? The Digital Foundry IGN one earlier today, and they were saying that the OLED Steam Deck and the regular Steam Deck were different.
We know someone with a Steam Deck.
We do, yeah. John Witchworth has one, but he has the original one, I think, not the OLED.
Yeah.
So,
unless he's got the OLED in the meantime.
So I don't know.
They say it's going to have improved Bluetooth connectivity, which maybe that means my headphones won't go out of sync every time I use my headphones.
It wasn't the headphones for me; it was the controllers went out of sync because of the Bluetooth.
It was. I mean, the fact that it was added years into the life. What was it, like 4 years?
It was like halfway. It was like halfway or more into the life cycle.
Like the fact that there was no change in hardware. It was just like a software update or whatever. Makes me think that it's just gonna like work better off the shelf.
Well, everything's gonna be higher.
It was
like the Wi-Fi is higher. Like the Bluetooth will be higher. Hopefully
it's possible you can't even buy the
better
components, on an industrial scale that they used for those things anymore.
Yeah, the only reason I would like maybe buy the new Pro controllers because of like the headphone jack on the bottom, but it's like, but hopefully you could just do the Bluetooth, and if I really want to use headphones, I can do it that way. But I also have a Bluetooth adapter for my TV if I really, really want to use Bluetooth headphones.
I used to love that was one thing I loved about the PS4 and PS5 was the headphone jack.
It was the headphone jack, but I
totally forgot about it.
But it works. It sucks. Like at least the PS4 one is awful. Oh, mine! Nothing but trouble for me on the PS4. It was constantly going in and out. Like it sucks. Like every time I used it a lot in 2020. While I was playing Yakuza 0 or whatever, and it was awful. Like I actually thought it would work better than it did, but it did not work well. Like it was constantly cutting out. And it would go from like ear to ear, and I did try different headphones with it and never worked well. So,
I mean, all I really played seriously on the PS4 with headphones was probably Elden Ring. So, that's the only game I have as my example. And then the PS5, it's just been great, but why would I do that when I can just pair headphones with my TV itself? So,
well, I mean, you use a different controller though, right? Does that still have a headphone jack on it? Because didn't you buy another one because your PS5 controller was having issues?
Oh, PS4. No, my PS5, I still use the original controller. Actually, I bought
PS4, you bought the different controller.
Yeah. My PS5, I actually just bought a because the USB-C jack doesn't work anymore. So
Yeah,
I bought
I remember you told me there was something broken about it.
Right, so I just bought a dock for it, and now it just charges when I put it in the dock. But
Okay.
I can't plug it in while I'm playing, which is really annoying.
But it doesn't. From what I heard, it doesn't have a whole lot of good battery life on the PlayStation 5 controller. People are saying it goes out in a couple hours. Is that true?
It's about 2 hours, I would say.
I mean, that's the same level as the Wii U. The Wii U controller did about the same thing, like 2 or 3 hours before it dropped out.
Think about that Wii Pro controller the Wii U Pro controller.
Oh, the Wii Pro controller went for like 30 hours without recharging.
You would forget about it for months and then pick it up and play for hours and hours.
Speaking of controllers,
I just recently grabbed Jess's 3DS, which we haven't turned it on in like 2 years, and it had like full charge on it.
I'd say the 3DS, I didn't ever feel that way. I thought the battery drained super quick on it.
I'm just saying we hadn't used it in 2 years, and it still had full batteries. I was really impressed.
My new 3DS, every time I try to power it up, it's dead. I have to charge it.
I was surprised it had full bars, and we hadn't played it. I hadn't played it since before we moved here, and we've been here for almost 2 years.
Well, on the subject of controllers, the Switch 2 is going to allow players to create per-game controller profiles. This is awesome because every time you rearrange your button setups,
you can kind of already do that in the Switch, right? It's just convoluted.
You can do it in this one, in a way, yeah. It's not like it doesn't
you
like
have to dig in there.
It doesn't like when you start the game. It doesn't ask you like what controller setup you want.
But it will ask if you want to reset to the original.
But what I would do, I did is I made different controller setups, and I would name them like this is for this game, this is for this game. But then when you try to start a game and your controllers are changed, it'll say like, hey, your controls are different. Do you want to switch it back to default? That's what it did on Switch 1 already. But this just makes it a little bit easier. We can just be like,
maybe it'll just automatically have that profile when you boot up the game.
I mean, but also like, the game's already going to have that in the game, and you change it in the game, and you turn on the game, and that's where your controllers are.
But it is nice if it would just automatically be that way once you set it once.
I mean, but that's the same thing from doing it in the options of the game.
I guess you're right. Yeah,
you know what I mean? I guess unless it's like something where there's not like a inverted aim or something like that, which some people do that, and it really pisses me off. But I got the 8-bit Do too, where you can just set it. I can just press a button and it'll flip my aim, so I don't need to even worry about it. Because you can do profiles on the second one, and there's a little button and there's lights on the bottom. You can do 3 different profiles, and I have it to where I switch both of the sticks in case they're not flipped, and I just click it a couple times and it'll just automatically switch it.
I think the one I have must be the 3. It's the one that's like Hall effect and all that crap.
I did see that you can actually buy the ones that I like, the ones that don't look like the Xbox ones. You can actually buy those with Hall effect. Like you can buy the 2.0 with Hall effect sticks. So if I ever need to get another one, I can actually buy a new one in the one that I like, and not the other one that I don't like. So
I do want to say,
that makes me feel better.
It's a bit of an aside, but it does fit into the current topic. Like when Trey and Jess were here visiting, I did actually get to check out Jess's Switch, and what's that grip called?
Oh, the Nitro Deck. Yeah, we showed you the Nitro Deck too.
That Nitro Deck grip is
it's
fucking awesome. It feels so good.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It turns your Switch into like just an amazing handheld. Like I was a big fan.
Is it a nice, beefy controller feel?
Yeah, it feels nice. Like it's really well contoured to the hands, and you know, it doesn't feel insubstantial. It's got like a solid heft to it, and you feel like you're holding like something important in your hands, which you are.
No, I mean the thing that I didn't know about it, which really blew me away, is that it's hardwired. And Jess even said that like the first time they tried it out, that it felt like much more responsive because it's hardwired right into it. It's not Bluetoothed. Like it plugs into the bottom of the Switch, so it feels
it's essentially a backbone for your Switch.
Yeah, but it feels like playing like
an entire enclosure.
It's like playing on the Leverless, where you have no, you have no lag. Mm-hmm. So like I think that's really awesome about it. And I've fucked around with it too. I put my OLED in there and I played, I played that the sci-fi first-person shooter game that I was playing. I played that for a while, and I was like, oh yeah, this works well, And I kind of wanted to get one, but I was like, oh, you should wait because Switch 2 is almost coming out, and then maybe you can get a Nitro Deck for that whenever you get that. So, but no, it does work really, really well. And I bought it for Jess because they had drifted like 2 or 3 Joy-Cons, and like it was like the Joy-Cons were sliding off, or like you get disconnected and you had to pull it off, put it back on.
Kind of old Joy-Cons, right? Like when you originally gave them the.
Well, yeah. Well, I bought them the screen, and then I used the Joy-Cons that I had. But we had bought new Joy-Cons also, and then I gave them and I gave them my Switch when I got the OLED. But it was still like the grip was loosening, and the Joy-Cons were falling off.
Oh, that's right. And then you sold the other one to.
Yeah, I sold it to Caroline. Yeah, but we were just having all these issues, and I saw Jess playing Animal Crossing and having to resync the controllers a bunch, and I was like, they were on sale for like $40, so I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna get the Nitro deck because it'll work a lot better. And yeah, they love it, so it's been it was a hit. The Nitro deck, I fully support it. It's very cool. It's a very cool piece of
I actually like the color
or hardware or whatever.
I don't want like a pink Nitro deck necessarily for myself, but if I was into pink, like the aesthetic of it was just so nice. It looks nice. It's not just that it feels nice. It's like if I showed that off to someone, I'd be proud of it. I'd be like, check out this shit.
Oh yeah, no, it's nice.
It looks nice.
The one that I wanted, the one I wanted was the GameCube one, but that one's more expensive, of course, the purple one. But those Nitro decks are really good. I totally swear by it. If anybody wants to play their Switch online, hopefully they'll make a Nitro deck for Switch too. And when they do that, I'll probably 100% get it.
Hopefully they will, because it was confirmed to the negative. Now onto the negative stuff.
Oh yeah, they're not using Hall effects.
Yeah, they're not using Hall effects for Joy-Con 2. So
well, they
was giving an interview with IGN, I think it was, and no, I think it was Nintendo Life, but he
did one with IGN too. I think he did a few different places.
Bill Trinan, right?
Yeah, Bill Trinan.
Yeah, he sounds like he's like the harbinger of bad news boys.
Well, Bill Trinan was with IGN.
Nate and Bill Trinan, yeah, they both did one. But
Bill
specifically, Nate was asked about it, and he definitely kind of wove around because he was asked specifically, is this Hall effect? And he said, well, it's not Hall effect, but Nintendo has worked from the ground up to
they rebuilt a completely
rebuilt the controller and rebuilt the joysticks. And then he went on and he asked the interviewer, have you tried it? What did you think about the feel and all that? So he dove right into how does this guy feel about the new controller? And apparently the interviewer thought it felt pretty good. So
how much do you want to think that the Hall effect thing is tied into the whole Joy-Con drift thing? Like maybe specifically referring to Hall effect. Like, is that a patented term? Is that like...
Well, apparently
it's patented because a lot of people use it,
Apparently the Hall effect has been around for a long time. I was just talking... Nintendo Life said that they used it as far back as Dreamcast or whatnot. Or it's been around for a while, so it's not necessarily a new thing.
So it's not like a patented technology. It's just like a type of controller input at this point. So
I wonder
if by admitting it's Hall effect, then they're admitting that their previous thing was broken, so they can't say that. They have to say we rebuilt it from the ground up, yakety schmackety. But it's,
I figured they were just
probably following similar.
I figured they were just doing their own Nintendo thing, where they're like, we're Nintendo, we're going to make our own thing, and it's going to be similar to Hall effect, but we're going to make it on our own.
Yeah, but by saying they built it from the ground up, they're still not admitting that there was drift. That's not a thing.
Oh yeah, sure, that too. They don't want to say they're wrong.
And I think also that I wonder if the magnetic Joy-Con would have interfered with the Hall effect.
Oh, because it uses
magnetic
joysticks.
Maybe.
Oh,
maybe.
I wonder if they had to figure out a different solution.
Yeah, I was right.
It's a very odd omission now that everybody's clearly moved on to this Hall effect.
Yeah, but I really think that by saying it is that they're admitting. I think
you're right on that,
because that's as far as anyone, the layperson who's looking at stick drift. That's not a layperson, but that's like somewhere in between an obsessee and a layperson who would be looking into, well, how can I not have this drift anymore? Well, there's this thing called Hall effect, and that'll in stick drift. Well, by Nintendo admitting that they're using Hall effect, they're admitting that stick drift is a thing. So maybe they're just dancing around it for that point. Exactly.
They just don't want to give anything to Sega because
they don't want class action.
Well, because apparently Sega were the first people that ever used the Hall effect. Was used on the analog stick for Sega Saturn. Even I looked it up. That's the first time it was used was on Sega Saturn. So they don't want to be like, oh, we're using a Sega thing. They're going back to the original
It's
console
back to the
wars.
console
Yeah.
wars.
I mean, probably not, but I mean, you're right. I mean, I'm sure they just they don't
There's
want
so
they don't
much
want to they don't want to
legalistic
admit that
stuff
they're
happening
wrong.
with the sticks. Like you gotta take it all with a grain of broken
Magnets.
controller stuff.
A grain
Making your
of
controller-
ground up joysticks.
Ground up plastic. Yeah, there you go.
Here's another possible negative. The Switch 2 plays Switch 1 games through something that is quote unquote in between software emulator and hardware compatibility.
Yeah,
They
released
pretty
like
sure
they
it's-
released like
it's
a
an
list of
emulator.
them. Yeah, it is. From what I heard, it's an emulator, and they like there's some that will like boot
This
up,
is
but
not
they
an
won't
Android
like
tablet.
run or whatever. Or I don't know, but I would think that people would like upgrade their games to a point. Maybe not hentai golf or whatever, but the good ones. Maybe they'll probably fix them in some way. We were doing our Monday night stream, and I just wanted to do that just to set everybody off about it because we had shaken everybody.
You play
on there.
hentai golf?
And I was like, AEW Fight Forever, getting a Switch 2 upgrade? They're like, no. And I was like, come on. That'd be cool. Make it like the play. I mean, at least the PS4 one plays a little bit better. Like, I don't know.
AEW Fight even more forever.
I mean, they might do it. They might get an upgrade. Maybe we might get a Switch
If you
2
can have a
upgrade
high
for Fight
resolution
Forever.
so you can see all the people that aren't in that stadium that you're running around in by yourself.
For the Fortnite-ish stuff.
Right.
That was pretty fun. I enjoyed that.
I would
was fun.
I would like to say. I mean, I like the game a lot. I just was like, I would like
Give
to
it
see.
another go.
I would like to see like how many people that are in Fight Forever now versus how many new wrestlers are in AEW. Like, there's probably more new ones that aren't in that game than actually are in the game. Aside from whoever left for WWE. I'm just saying, there's a lot of really, really great wrestlers that are not in any game. I want to play. I want to be Will Ospreay. Like, let me be Will Ospreay in something. He's fucking awesome. Or like Mark Briscoe, or like and there's a ton of them. They're not in games. Like I'm still waiting for that update. Like there's so many new, like the Outrunners. Like they're not in games. Those guys are badass.
I want to play as Tony Khan.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he only got moves done to him. He didn't really do any. But I'm just saying there's plenty. There's enough they could make a whole game just with new wrestlers that weren't in that game and just have a full roster.
Kotaku's saying that the Switch 2's battery life is worse than the original.
Yes.
That it will run anywhere from 2 to 6.5 hours on a single charge.
Well, that's what they said about the first one too, though. Originally, on the first run,
And then they quietly released the second model that had.
and then they had
better
one with a better
life.
battery, and then the OLED one ran a little bit longer. But no, that's what it was
Well,
for
OLED
Switch 1.
screens take less battery power.
Yeah, but I'm just saying this is the same amount. I'm pretty sure that we heard for Switch 1. So I mean, we're not gonna. I mean, I don't really.
It doesn't
play
pertain to
handhelds,
me.
so
I don't
care.
play handheld anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, it never was really going to run that long, and this sounds like the same as it did before. Like that doesn't sound different to me.
No, as long as I can plug it into like a battery pack or something to give it some extra battery and stuff, I don't care if it's got a somewhat short battery life. I mean, I'm holding a TV in my hands, so it's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I do that with my phone, but that's
And now-
got so much utility attached to it.
Well,
Like,
now
this is
you can-
something else.
Now you can plug the charger up top, so you can rest it on your stomach and and it doesn't stab you. So you can play it while it's plugged in, and it won't really matter.
There seems to be some uncertainty about whether or not the physical games will have the full game on them or not.
I mean, they don't
some
now,
folks-
so they probably
Yeah.
won't. They probably won't in
They
the
won't.
future
I
either.
mean, that's been the way with the future.
Well, there's this
Like,
whole-
Because I heard that they won't, and then I heard later on a correction. Oh wait, yeah, they will.
Some of them
which
do.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, because they're
I
talking
see
about
no reason because every game release has its own like firmware updates and stuff.
Yeah, they all have
anymore,
updates
so,
anyway. But most people are saying like they're calling them game keys, where you basically put it in your system and then it goes straight to the eShop and then you download it. Which I'm like, why even bother with that?
It's kind of like
You know?
they've got a little vault with your game in it, and so instead of like renting it like you do when you digitally download it, you kind of own it because you have a little vault key.
Yeah, but you still got to put the cartridge in there to play it. Like
Right.
if you're going to download the whole
It's
thing,
also
like
just-
you should just be able to just play it off your system without the
I agree.
key or whatever.
I agree.
It's just a way to get physical retailers involved.
And ultimately,
Yeah,
it's just
the
a way
old
to
system.
combat hacking. That's all it is. It's sadly, it's just rights management. It's not about whether or not it's better for us. It's not. There's no way it is.
My real question is, I mean, well, I'm sure we'll get to this. Like there's different charges for different upgrades for different games or whatever. That's like, so we're doing like $20 upgrades for like Kirby or like Mario Party or whatever, because that's like more substantial thing. But when we get to something like Metroid Prime 4, that's like a $10 upgrade. So what I'm thinking in my mind, I still got a voucher. Can I use a voucher to buy the Switch 1 version of Metroid Prime, and then only pay $10 to upgrade it to Switch 2, and then play it in 120 FPS or whatever? That's what I want to do. I mean, there's still not a price or a release date for it, but there's been kind of a breakdown on the upgrade stuff, and like it seems like depending on how much it's actually doing to the game, like that's what the upgrade is. So like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, they're going to have a $10 upgrade, but we're going to get it all for free because you're going to get it from Nintendo Switch Online.
That's why, I'm calling it now.
Cool.
That's their ambassador program this time around. That if you're,
it's already there. It's on the website.
But you know what I mean? Like if you're a Nintendo Online member or whatever, that you don't have to pay these fees because.
Well, I mean, they're already giving
like you.
Yeah, they're already giving you the Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom one. Like you can find that on the Nintendo website.
But I imagine like there will be more as the masses speak out against it. I think Nintendo is in kind of a, I don't know, they're in a pot of boiling water right now, and it's not entirely their fault, but
I'm not that
are known for being.
I'm not angry about the prices. Like the Switch system, like we were talking about this on our stream too. Like the OLED, the Switch OLED is $350. Like releasing a whole new system that's like twice the power of that for $50 more, it makes no sense to me. Like it makes more sense to have it $100 more and at $450, when you already have something at $350. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't make sense like in that sort of price. But the same thing,
the hardware.
But the same thing with the games.
It's the software.
Like same thing with the games. Like Shake and I were talking about that. It's like, just think about it. So like Mario Kart 8 is like $60 plus the $20 upgrade for all the extra tracks and stuff on there. You pay $80 for that to get the entire game. They're basically selling you this also at $80 with all of that, without the
but are they going to have DLC later? I absolutely believe they will.
Yeah, they will, but I mean, I don't think you have to pay for it. Or at least hopefully you won't.
I think you will.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it seems like there's a lot on there right now.
You already have the game, so now they can charge you more. I don't think we're getting a guarantee that we're paying more so that we get everything in the future. There's never been any sort of press about that. Like, that's not. I mean, I wish that was the case. That'd be great. But unless they release Mario 8 Super Deluxe on the Switch 2
for $80,
we're not getting that. We're not getting that with Mario Kart. No, they're going to get more money out of you if they can.
Well, I think another possibility is that they do what they did with Mario Kart 8, which they say, we're going to release this extra DLC, but if you're a member of Nintendo Switch Online, you get it with that. And then I think also they probably use that as an excuse to eventually bump up the price of the NSO Plus expansion pack. So
that's coming.
That's
coming. It's definitely happening.
It's maybe like the cheapest.
I'm actually surprised they haven't. I'm surprised they didn't up it with the GameCube stuff and the Switch 2 upgrades.
Well, they haven't announced the price yet.
Yep.
Well, it's still the same as it already. I mean,
yeah, but no one has a Switch 2 in their hands yet. Like,
well, you think when the Switch 2 comes out, they'll be like, oh yeah, no, actually, expansion pack.
Maybe not. Maybe not
or something.
I don't think right away. I think maybe in like a year or two, when if they keep up at this pace of adding a lot of stuff to the program, like it's already really kind of busted at the seams of this $50 that they have you pay once a year.
They're really they're giving you a lot. Like they're
giving you a lot, but they're not giving you what modern online games can do. Still,
but for $50
they're finally about to. They're finally about to, and I bet you that they're gonna. Yeah, they're definitely gonna charge more because now they're in the modern era and they can do that.
And they might pair that with the announcement of the new Mario Kart DLC in 2 years or whatever. And I'll probably be fine with it at that point.
No, I bet I would be willing to bet money about that. Mario Kart's going to have paid DLC. It's not $80.
I mean, but when? Like within like 2 years, or you mean like within this year?
I would say within a couple of years. Yes, I would say that. I don't think they're going to do it right away. I don't think. But you do remember like they announced DLC for Breath of the Wild like before it came out. So I don't know. It could happen.
Well, the Breath of the Wild DLC came out.
Was announced before.
Well, it came out at the end of the year at the Game Awards. Like it actually, they dropped it. But yeah, they said it was happening. But I mean, as far as Mario Kart World DLC, I don't think it's going to happen for another 2 years, as both of you are saying. So I agree with that, if it does happen.
Here's something that's for sure. The Switch 2 will not have achievements or eShop music.
No surprise there.
Was that just a nope from Bill Trinity again?
I think it's from
so. I
another
forget where that
interview,
came
right?
from.
Yeah.
That was clear. Yep, put out there.
I still haven't forgiven him for eating all the donuts. Like that guy's always been ruined for me.
He was possessed by a yokai. It wasn't his fault.
He does love mannequin pussy. He's one of the people I've.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah, I followed him on Twitter, and he was talking about mannequin pussy years ago.
Man, I wish he was at the show that we were at. That'd be fun.
Mm-hmm.
We could hang out. He could compliment me on my 90s leather jacket.
And then I'd be like, "Can you help me get a Switch?" And he'd be like, "Nope."
You got any Switches with you? Can I buy it out of the back of your truck?
Friend codes are sticking around.
But aren't they like adding like a new thing, like another
yeah,
way
you
to?
can trade them. You can trade them through the app. You'll get a QR code. You can send QR.
It's all
codes
QR codes.
So yeah, you can add people through the app now, which you couldn't do before. I don't think so.
Well, I don't know if you can add people like through the app, like look up, see who's on, and send a request to that person. But you can make your string of 15 numbers or whatever it is into a QR code that you can email to your friends or text to your friends or whatever.
Or you can make a little like stickers and post them all over the place. That'd be kind of fun.
You can technically add friends through the app right now, through Nintendo Switch Online app, but you have to have the friend code. You can type in the friend code and add them through the app, but you have to have the code. It seems like it's just like a better version of that, maybe where you can look at people you played online with. And
I have no doubt that Nintendo's going to do things pretty well this time around with the online stuff. I just think that it comes with we're going to lose some Nintendo charm in the process, I think, and it's okay, but we're going to kind of miss the days of friend codes. I'm not lying.
I'm never going to miss friend codes. Like I never liked them.
You're going to miss friend codes.
They were all always just a pain in the
ass.
Be
like, I want to be friends with this person, and you start typing it, and 5 digits in, you're like, well, I don't know. 8 digits in, you're like, And that's sort of your chance to.
You can already
final decision.
You can already make friends now without friend codes. Because you can friend people that you played with online, because it'll show up and say, "Here's who you friend with, who you played with."
But I still haven't woken up with a friend I had never met
click,
before.
Click. I got a bunch of friends on there I haven't met. I play with them every.
But
Monday.
I'm saying I don't remember adding.
I have people who I friended them and then they changed their name and now I don't know who that person is.
Oh, yeah, I got a bunch of those too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, who is that? I don't know.
I didn't when I played a lot of multiplayer games, I didn't add people, but
sometimes
there's some random people I met like at events or whatever that have changed their names. I'm like, what?
Sometimes people would send me friend requests and I'd be like, sure, the more the merrier.
Wow.
Let's do it.
This guy wants friends.
Piece of bad news is that Switch 2 game cartridges still taste disgusting.
That's not bad news.
Don't eat them. Don't lick them.
I look at Nintendo cartridge to taste. I play hot ones with myself, but it's
all Switch cartridges.
It's called bitter ones. Me by myself.
Just put a bunch of Switch cartridges in your mouth and just see how long you can.
And I just lick them and I pose these like existential questions to myself as I do it. And I have to give an answer while I'm licking a cartridge. So, yeah, I've been doing that for years.
Next time there's a Nintendo Direct, I'm just going to put a bunch of Switch games in my mouth and just watch it and see if I can react to the Direct with Switch games in my mouth.
You should have the
without puking.
Mark the bingo card for you.
I'll just be like, what is that? I'm going to throw up. That's what I'm going to do. Actually, there was an answer to a question that Jeremy had while we were in Champaign, which I forgot about it because you distracted me on that. If I think about it, I'll come back to it. That's right. Carry on. Hopefully I'll come back to my mind. Yeah, there's a question you had about this that we talked about at your house that I remembered the answer to it.
What about specifically?
I don't know.
Well, a lot of people learned about micro SD express cards this week.
I guess so.
So it looks like you can get one for like $60 for 256 gigs, which I think that's probably going to be the one that
doubles the memory capacity.
And the speed, so I guess it runs a little faster, and that's the main benefit of it. But if you want to get a 1 terabyte, that's still expensive. It's $200. So unfortunately, it's like I have a 1 terabyte card on my Switch, which I think I paid how much did I pay for that?
I got it on
130
sale
or something like that.
Yeah, we got it on sale. Well, we
I
both
still-
got it on sale around the same. I got it
I
before I,
still
went to
can't
Abu
believe in
Dhabi,
2017 they were like, it supports up to 2 terabyte.
and it never got there.
It never got there. The technology did not get to that.
Never
Didn't get
happened.
there.
Maybe it will, and people with Switch Ones will have like the ultimate hack console.
So I'm just like, I'm going to be able to have like only 1/4 of my library on my Switch 2 out the gate, unfortunately.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm not. I was thinking about that too. I don't think I'm gonna get an SD card right out of the gate. I'm gonna try to just, do the whole like fridge idea
Put
or
it on the
whatever.
system.
Because I don't want to spend like a certain amount of money for like a half of what I actually want to get, and then just have another one that's just collecting dust over here, and I wasted whatever money
That's
on
a
it.
good point.
So I'd
'Cause
rather just wait till the other one comes down, and I'll just switch them around for like the 250 gigs or whatever is available in there. That's what I'll do.
That's what I'll do too. I didn't really think about that, but the onboard memory is 256 as well. So maybe I'll just skip the card,
Which is
With, like,
pretty
a
much laughable
terabyte.
nowadays.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what the PlayStation 4 I have is like 500, which I filled that up the first day that I got it just by
Yeah,
putting
my
the games
PS5
on that I
was
had.
1 terabyte.
They did announce the size of the games, or somebody figure out the size of the games. Mario Kart is going to be like 26 gigs,
I would expect that. Yeah.
which is in comparison to the old one. I think the old one was around 15 or something like that.
I mean, what was Smash Ultimate on the Switch? It was huge.
I would
It
guess
was
it's like
32
12
gigs or
probably.
something.
I mean, the Nintendo stuff is normally low. It's normally fairly
I guess
low.
so. Maybe it's with all the add-ons. and
That's
stuff.
always one I think about.
Whenever I bring it
deleting.
back, it's a big download.
I think it's 12 or 13, something like that.
Did you all watch the Treehouse Live? I watched the whole thing, actually.
I watched
I watched parts of it. Before we went to Champaign on Thursday, we watched the Mario Kart World stuff. We watched some of that, and that
mostly watched that and the Donkey Kong stuff.
And then it was fun. We were like, it looked cool. We'd eating hamburgers and changing costumes or whatever.
And it is confirmed the cow can eat a hamburger.
Cow can eat a hamburger.
Cannibalism.
Yes.
So a mad cow, but it doesn't happen.
So people are like, people are like talking about like, oh, cow, and the cow's called Cow, like as a character in there.
Mhm.
And I was just thinking, but everybody just freaking out about having cow as a playable character. Fighter's Destiny on Nintendo 64. There was a cow that you could play as a fighter in that game. They stole it from that game. That game was really cool. You could play as a
Kung
cow.
Pao, there's a whole scene where he fights a cow.
Oh, this is before Kung Pao. The Fighter's Destiny was.
Oh, damn.
It predates Kung Pao even. I'm just saying.
Okay, then.
Put Fighter's Destiny on the Nintendo 64 app already. I was thinking about it today. I was like, what do I have to do to get that on there? Can I call somebody? I mean, I don't know who owns the property of that game, but there's 2 of them. I want to play Fighter's Destiny 2. I never played 2, but I played the crap out of 1. It was just really cool, like Nintendo's version of Tekken, but with points or whatever. It was a really cool game. And you could play as a cow.
I'll have to try it.
And the cow was awesome because he'd shake his udders around like when he won. It was hilarious.
Well, aside from, I watched the whole thing, like looking for any little hints or details or whatever slipped through the cracks. I really only found one. It was like nice to watch, like get to see the games in action and all that stuff, see the tracks in Mario Kart and everything. But the one that I found most informative really was the Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild one. Just getting to see that app in action. Now, here's a cool tidbit that I learned from watching that segment. So there's, you take photos inside the game and have your photo album inside the game. They were talking about how you could sync your photos directly from, taking it into the game, from the game, put it into the new app, into the Zelda Notes app. And that got me
That's pretty cool.
thinking, like, what if you do that with the rest of the stuff? And then, like, seconds later, they confirmed that actually the Switch 2 is going to automatically sync your last 100 photos and videos to the app.
Yeah, so you don't have to do the weird thing where you connect to the. Yeah, I saw that too, and that's
neat.
That's a very
huge
welcome
improvement.
addition there.
Because every time
into it.
on the Switch, right, if you don't use this feature right now, here's what you got to do. You take the screenshot. You have to go into the system and you scan the QR code to sign on to Switch Wi-Fi, and then you can put it on your phone from Switch Wi-Fi. But then you have to go back in and change back from the Switch Wi-Fi to your regular Wi-Fi, and it's a whole process. It just takes like 2 whole minutes just to get one photo onto your phone.
Yeah, it's annoying, but
so it's really
really
annoying.
I do it a lot.
but this is great. It's just gonna sync automatically your last 100 photos and videos.
I mean,
to
I
your
love the
phone.
idea that I could just at any point capture something and then I could immediately throw it in the Slack or whatever. You know,
I'm really
Yeah.
I'm
we
really
haven't been able
curious.
to do for a while.
I'm really curious about how like the capturing goes. Well, because just comparing to like PS4, because PS4 you could hit the capture button and it had captured like the last hour of the gameplay that
Yeah.
you did, and then you can
PS5 is the same way.
you can kind of work from there and edit it, and that's PS4. And this is supposed to be more powerful than the PS4 Pro. The PS4 could also stream directly to Twitch, which with this having like the interactivity with the camera and like the whatever green screening you out or whatever. Where is that? I'm really surprised that's not there. That you can't like hit the C button twice and you're on Twitch or something like that.
I mean, you are seeing that, like, no pun intended, but you are seeing that Nintendo's not taking any sort of like, you can link to YouTube or you can link to this, that, and the other. They're being very close to the
Yeah,
cuff
sure.
with like,
Yeah.
we're creating our own sort of thing, but
And not only
at the
that,
same
they've got
time, it's all on
Nintendo
your
Today.
it's on your phone. You can say it, you can share it, through a text message or whatever
Yeah,
you want.
but I'm just
Right.
curious because Switch 1 you could only record like 30 seconds. Like I said, you could record like an hour on PS4.
Yeah,
Maybe you could at least get more than 30
and it
seconds
was
on
always
Switch
recording.
2. Yeah, it's always recording. It's like a DVR or whatever, right? It's like
Yeah,
you
hopefully
just
it's longer.
whenever you stop that it has all of that. So yeah, hopefully it lets you do more than just the 30 seconds. That's what I would hope.
If they do update the Nintendo Today eventually, like we were just saying, Nintendo, could you post it to Twitch or whatever? Well, they've been like careful about what's been going on in the social media space lately, like X is going to hell and all that. So I think that we did mention before, we think that they've created Nintendo Today as part of a way to like avoid all that.
Yeah,
They can have their own social media channel. So
but
maybe
they're
I
still
can
on
see
X.
Oh, I just remember what it was. It's so Jeremy, when I was at your house, you asked
Okay.
me what the difference was of Puyo Puyo versus whatever the Puyo Puyo Tetris 2 game. What's the difference between both of them? So they're the exact same game, except the Puyo Puyo Tetris 2 1S has mouse control. That's the only difference. I heard about that on 8-4 Play because Mark McDonald does.
So it's the exact same game that came out that we played at the event, but it's now
No,
got mouse control.
The game that we played at MGC was the first one that I bought when the Switch one came out. There's been a sequel since then called
And I actually own that.
the
I do
Tetris
own
Puyo Puyo 2. It's the same as that, except this one has mouse games in it. That's what I wanted to tell you that I learned that you asked me about. That's the only difference. They're the same game, except this one has little mouse games in it. So it's not really worth getting. And you already have it anyway. Maybe you can get the upgrade for free or something.
We'll see.
I remembered it. It's how dumb it was, but yeah, that's what it was.
So aside from the system price itself, we learned some other prices throughout the week. Deltarune is going to be $25. So for everybody who's crying about $80 for Mario Kart, relax. Cheaper games aren't going away.
Oh yeah, and also I think
$25.
I think I said this before we started recording because we were talking about Bravely Default a little bit, but the Bravely Default Flying Fairy, the remake, the re-release, whatever, is coming out for the exact same price that it was when it was new. It's still $40, and I love that, and I'm buying it on day
I do
one.
love that.
Let's do it. I mean, I never played through Bravely Default all the way on 3DS, and I really like that game. Bravely Default 2 was one of my favorite games on Switch, so I'm really happy to go back to it. And there's some really cool new stuff in there. There's like rhythm games where you can be rhythm jobs or whatever. I was watching the stream and they're like fighting a dragon where you like are moving a shield to deflect like the like fire back at them. There's all these new action battles in there that weren't there before. I'm like, yeah. And it's $39.99. Awesome.
Yep.
Same price it was when it was new. And now this is the new HD version. So, yeah. So there's some games that are the same.
So here's the thing. We knew something was up when Tears of the Kingdom was $70 new.
Right.
Even just like it was $70.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
the only game. Yeah, it was the only game that was $70.
And now it's 80.
None of
for
us
Switch 2
batted
version.
an eye. None of us batted an eye. We're like, okay, well, this game looks amazing. Nintendo has a tendency, in the last like 10 years or whatever, to not devalue their own games by putting them in sale very often. Now Nintendo's taking a bold step and being like, well, remember
$80.
that was $70. It was great. Now they're $80. You know what? You're gonna buy it because you can't buy it anywhere else.
No vouchers. Well, yet.
It's
Mario
going to be
Kart's
worth the
also-
money, and I will say, Tears of the Kingdom was worth $70 easily.
Oh, it
Like
was.
within the first week of playing it, I had gotten my $70.
And I only paid $50 for it.
I'm guessing that $80 is their price for games that are going to be largely online multiplayer, ever evolving, forever type games. Like
Basically, games
Kart,
games that they have to hire
probably
people
Splatoon.
to maintain.
Not necessarily, because they're selling Kirby and the Forgotten Land for $80, and they're selling Mario and Mario Party Jamboree for $80 also on Switch. The Switch 2 version.
Well, Mario Party Jamboree is going to have a robust online thing.
Of course, it goes back and forth a little
Kirby,
bit.
not so much.
Kirby is a
Kirby
story.
is like 3
edition.
years old.
Yeah.
Basically, what they're doing is they're not ever changing the prices on any of their games. They're basically going to sell it to you for the exact same price that it was on Switch, plus the $20 DLC, which was like, I mean, I like Kirby and the Forgotten Land a lot, but yeah, I mean, I don't.
It's a hard stance on their.
I don't see somebody who just bought a Switch 2 being like, "Give me that Kirby game for $80." You know, like I don't know.
Everybody in the world bought the newest Zelda for $70.
But yeah, the prices seem to be all over the place. Yeah, Mario Kart World has a lot of shit to it. You know, there's a lot going on, so that's 80. But the Donkey Kong Bonanza, which also looks like it has a lot of shit to it, is 70. So it's like, I don't know. I mean, yeah, maybe because that's an online one, maybe that's why it's 80 or whatever. But
yeah,
And Donkey Kong looks like a lot more value than the Kirby game, I think.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, I mean, it's a Switch 2 game.
It's Odyssey
versus the
too.
Switch 1 game. But I mean, I already have Kirby, so I'll probably pay $20 to play the new Kirby stuff. Because
I think Kirby. How do y'all feel about like everything I saw from Donkey Kong really reminded me of Odyssey, and then the press was kind of the games press that we follow was kind of like feeling the same way in certain ways. But I felt that way immediately when I was like, how stretchy his body is and stuff.
First
and,
thing I thought of
cartoony and.
The first thing I thought of was Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction on GameCube, which Brian Altano said it after I thought of that, but I played through that game. I still have it. The only thing that sucks is you can't make boxing gloves out of cars in Donkey Kong, which you can in the Incredible Hulk game, which is so much fun.
You might be able to.
I mean, can you knock entire buildings down? I fucking hope so. No, I mean, but in Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction, you could take cars and make them into boxing gloves and beat people with it. But no, just like watching you like tear apart the world and all that, I was like, this is Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
Which was it? That later became the I forget. There was two of them. They were like whatever. They were like Venom type games. That's the same people made it. So PlayStation 3 games they went on to do, but it reminded me a lot of.
Oh, you're talking about
you know what I'm talking about? It's the guy from
Infamous.
No. It wasn't. They weren't exclusives.
Dishonored. Oh, okay.
No. It was it doesn't matter. The guy from Community. When he got fired from that, he was like,
Chevy Chase.
I'm playing this game. No, not Chevy Chase. The creator, the guy who did who did Rick and Morty.
Dan Harmon,
yeah. He quoted that he was playing that game when he got fired from Community. That's what I remember. But I have the first one of it on PS3.
At least he hasn't aligned with other problematic people.
Well, he had his own problematic stuff too, if you looked into it.
But yeah, Jeremy, I agree that it does look a lot like Mario Odyssey, and that was my first thought of like who made this game. This is very clearly the Mario Odyssey team.
Yes, EA
a lot of
one or whatever.
A lot of reporters are trying to dig and prod and ask about that, and they're getting kind of like knowing winks and all that. But yeah, it's going to be announced that this is the Mario Odyssey team. That's like 99%.
Prototype 1 and 2. That game. Did you guys ever play Prototype?
Prototype, yes.
Prototype.
I confuse that with Infamous, but yeah, Prototype.
So the guys who did Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction went on to do Prototype 1 and 2. If you played those games, they feel a lot like that game as well. And like Donkey Kong Bonanza. They all feel the same because you're a giant hulking thing that can destroy things.
I love it. I mean, I love that it's in the space of whatever the Donkey Kong world is, and I think it makes sense within that context.
Also, I like the art design a little bit better. I was watching the Treehouse. I mentioned this at Jeremy's also, that once you got rid of the fucking stupid suspenders and the hard hat, he does kind of look like the original Donkey Kong that I know and love. Like
I just think you're going to be able to dress him up like you can.
Oh yeah, no, you probably will. You'll get different outfits, and maybe you can put on Diddy's outfit, and you'll be like, oh, sad that Diddy isn't.
I just want to be Skeletal Kong, like I was Skeletal Mario.
Be Dry Kong, like Dry Bowser. But once he like had the same look of Donkey Kong, he looked a little bit less stupid. Even though I don't like him running around with his tongue out all the time, it's unappealing. I don't like that.
Apparently, he lulls his tongue in more as he becomes more intelligent.
Like, I hope so.
How they show it in
the stronger you get, the farther your tongue goes in.
Yeah.
But no, I'm going to get it. July is going to be fun. We're going to have that and the Fantastic Four movie, and I can just pretend that I'm the Thing going around destroying stuff. Maybe I could get a Thing skin. Oh, that's never going to happen. Put Marvel Rivals on Switch too, damn it.
Do you guys remember the game that was in the Direct, Survival Kids? I said before it was like
that's
the least
that's
forgettable.
that was when the stream froze. I remember Jeremy and I talked about that when if you're watching it live, that was when it froze.
Mm-hmm.
So
I said it was going to be the most forgettable game of the Direct.
I didn't forget it. I didn't forget it because that's when everything froze.
I forgot it.
And I kept clicking back and forth. I mean, I didn't care about the game, but I'm like, this is the one that broke everything.
Regardless, this turns out to be a reboot of an old Game Boy and DS series that everybody already forgot about. So
cool. I'm sure there's a lot of people that like it out there. Maybe there's probably plenty of people with YouTube channels just doing like 5-hour videos about it and how much they love it.
Sure. And big survival kids.
They probably got like 5 million subscribers.
Anybody read the interview with the Duskbloods, the creator's voice?
No.
I wanted to read the Miyazaki.
Was there a video of it? I watched some of the Hades 2 creator's voice on the Nintendo YouTube channel. I watched a little bit of it. And that guy was on there, Darren Korb. I remembered him from our episode about favorite artists because he was talking about the different themes and stuff for Hades 2.
Mm-hmm.
Have you watched that one yet, the YouTube one, Jeremy? Because you dig it, the Hades 2 developer creator voice.
I think I have.
Okay. Yeah, I thought it just came out like a couple days ago.
Maybe not.
Speaking of that,
but if you haven't, it's good.
They announced a couple of new games this week, including Hades 2 is coming to Switch 2.
Hades 2 was
console
Hades
exclusive.
2 was in the Direct. Well, I guess they said it's a console exclusive, but Hades 2 was in the Direct.
Also, they announced Sonic X Shadow Generations.
Yeah, I got an email from Sega saying like, here's where all our Sega games are. That's what I sent you guys. Would try to send a link to on the Slack. Yeah, that had Sonic X Shadow Generations, but I already have that game, so I should just get a free upgrade, right? Because I already bought it. Hopefully, I don't think it's gonna. I think it's just gonna make it run better, right? I mean, it runs great on Switch One actually, but it'd probably go from 30 to 60 or something like that.
They announced a pair of RPGs: Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster and Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma.
Yeah, well, Suikoden 1 and 2 is already out. We talked about that a few weeks ago. I have it. They're just saying that there's going to be an upgraded version.
Switch 2 version,
Switch
yes.
2. And that Rune Factory game, I'm interested to see how it gets reviewed, but I think it looks really cool. It's basically like Rune Factory, kind of like Breath of the Wild. Like there was videos of it out. They did a very detailed preview of it on Nintendo World Report. I think it looks really cool. Actually, I'm really interested in it. I mean, we'll see whether I can actually afford it or not, but I'd like to be able to get it. And it's cool that it's coming to Switch too. So we'll, if it has like frame rate problems or whatever, like the last Rune Factory, at least we can play it on the newest system. So newest Nintendo system. So hooray!
There was actually an original Switch 2 game announced this week from the developers of Shovel Knight Dig. It's a game called Mousework, which is, it sounds like, a game that uses the mouse controls exclusively.
I heard people comparing it to Snipperclips.
Snipperclips, yeah.
I saw people saying that it might be the new Snipperclips. Well, and it might be a better... I don't know. I haven't heard great things about Drag and Drive or Drag X Drive or whatever. Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't seem to like that one. The rip up your pants game, the wheelchair basketball. I don't know. It seems to be divisive, or seems like 50%. What was it? I listened to Logan and Brian, and Brian hated it, and Logan thought it was okay. But
depends on the price for me. If it's $20, maybe, sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'm really not. I keep thinking about it. I'm really not that excited about the mouse controls. Like, I'm not planning on doing mouse controls for Metroid Prime. For Metroid 4 at all. I'll
try it.
I want to do it like I normally do, dual analog, like super high, where it's like super high turn, where it's really quick, and give me like gyro, like just how I play most first shooter games. And I'm fine with that. Maybe I'll try it out, but I'm like, but where am I going to do it on? Like do I have to like pull my pants off and do it on? I mean, I got a lot of hair. That might mess it up too. I don't know. I know they say you can do it on pants, but I was like, maybe downstairs on the recliner, I can do it on the side there, but.
I mean, I always have a layer of jeans beneath my other clothes, so
yeah.
I figure I'll just like peel it off to the jeans below, and then
but there's wrinkles. You got jean wrinkles. It's gonna happen.
What about summer?
No, there's no wrinkles. I steam them out with my body heat.
Oh, I don't believe you. I think you're gonna when you're sitting down though. If your legs are, I think
as far as my experience with some like nicer optical mice. Like
Just need to find a surface
they work
somewhere.
on any flat surface, including
Yeah, I've long, if I've been laying back, in my office chair or whatever, use my my mouse on my leg or whatever, and it doesn't seem like
It's
a big
fine.
announcement.
I do
works.
hear. I heard that it's pretty quick. Like you just flip it over and it automatically goes to mouse control. You don't have to switch it
that's
in
pretty cool.
the
That's
settings.
where it's at. It's not the actual like sensor, because the sensor is a very old thing. The optical sensor is like years and years old, and probably a cheap component to throw in. But it's more about how it adjusts to going from mouse to pointer and all that. Like, I really am interested if there's something about the motion controls that's better now in the new Joy-Con, and they have not. They kind of talk about it, but is it really better?
Yeah, I'm not like. I'm just saying, like,
yep.
I really want to switch to play like specific games, but I'm not like, oh man, I can't wait till I use mouse controls. It's just not. It's not. It's not there for me yet.
I just want it to be part of. Yeah, I want it to be part of like an overall, like the Joy-Con changes to whatever it needs to be based on how you're holding it. Like, if it does that,
that seems to be what it does. Is what people are
super
saying.
adaptive and super cool. And I'm interested in checking that out.
Maybe whenever they do a Fire Emblem game, I might try it for. Just click on.
I'm a little disappointed, honestly, that the Direct didn't showcase any more than basically like one game that's made for mouse controls. Like that seems to me like you made this whole feature where you have your Joy-Con turned into a mouse, but in the Direct, there's only one game that's all about the mouse controls. Yeah, like come on, like why not show? I know that other games use the mouse controls, but
we really hope
the welcome tour. I mean, the $10 welcome tour is all mouse stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not going to buy that game, but I mean,
sure, but
it's on there.
That doesn't even strike me as a game that's about mouse control. It has mouse controls, but it doesn't strike me as a game that's like, ooh, look, you're using the mouse the whole time.
Yeah.
How about a Mario Paint? How about Mario Maker? Or like at least one other game that's like
it'll happen.
Deep mouse controls.
I mean, we still need like. There'll be more directs down the way where they have to announce more stuff. I honestly, going back on it and thinking about it, it's really a low amount of games from first party on this. I felt was like, we have like 3 Nintendo games in this, maybe. Like,
the new IP was Dragon Drive, so
yeah, there wasn't really. I know, but there wasn't.
As Brian Altano said, there's not even any dragons in that game.
Well, but I mean, looking at the original Switch presentation, which you can actually listen to us talk about it on YouTube. I just put that up, our original episode for NintenDomain, episode 52, I think it is. You can listen to us talk about it. But that one had No More No More Heroes isn't that, but they had like Splatoon 2 was in there, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was in there, ARMS 1-2 Switch. Like there were so many, like they were laying out the pattern where it's like we're gonna have a first party game every month.
I remember we didn't even know if it was a touch screen. We were like, is it a touch screen?
Oh yeah, we didn't know about that. But I mean, there were just so many games on that versus this one where there's just this like here's like 3 or 4 games or whatever. I don't know. I mean, maybe there'll be another direct down the road. I guess that one coming off the Wii U, they really needed that, like to say we have a big game every month. But I thought maybe they would do that again with this one, and it's kind of seems a little limited, from what we saw.
How about some news about the Nintendo Classics? First of all, the N64 and GameCube apps are getting some new features, including CRT filters. So that's cool.
Yeah, I don't use those.
And I'm not going to use them, but
the big thing that I'm into is the rewind. You'll have rewind on 64.
Putting rewind to 3D games.
Rewind on 64. Maybe that'll make me do better at Ridge Racer, because actually rewind works really well for racing games. Like you're doing really well and you fuck up and you're like, oh wait, just let me go back a few frames and then you can turn better and not get hit by that dude. Or that's how I got through those F-Zero Game Boy Advance games with the rewind. I'd be like, just go back to where I fucked up and not fuck up, and then just keep going. So.
A lot of early video speed runs you can find, they'll be like either tool assisted or not tool assisted, and the tool assisted ones will be the ones where they're essentially using a rewind feature and having the entirely best possible, frame by frame way of playing through the game.
And we can finally rewind in Majora's Mask. I remember when Majora's Mask was announced for N64 app, Jeremy said that having rewind in there would break your mind. So now it will be there to break your mind.
Break your mind, the rest will follow.
Yep.
A couple of disappointing things about the GameCube controller. One is that initially it's only going to be offered to people who pre-order the system through My Nintendo store.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't
Yep.
see that. Oh,
Yep.
wait, so you can't just order it?
Initially. So if you
Well,
pre-order
yeah.
the system, it's going to be offered to you through the My Nintendo store if you've pre-ordered through that store. But later on, it'll be open, I guess, to everybody else. But that's going to be the first wave. So I'm not too disappointed about that because that's honestly $60 I'm going to save off this launch.
I mean, I really wanted one, but I figured I probably wasn't going to get one right out of the gate. I mean, I wasn't able to get the 64 controller right out of the gate either, so it would probably be just where we have to wait for it to be available again.
I just don't know if I want to pay more money other than I'm going to pay for a Switch too.
Yeah, I mean, because I kind of did, I did my list again of games that I want, basically the big ones is, I want to get, obviously I want to get the Mario Kart bundle, which people are saying that maybe that's a limited thing, that it may not always be there.
It's officially.
It is official. Okay. Anyway, I want to get the Mario Kart bundle. I mean, I don't know if I'll be able to get it. If I can't, I'll get the $80 one, whatever. But I wanted to get Street Fighter 6 and Bravely Default, which would be like $100 right there. I don't know, as much as I love the way the Street Fighter 6 amiibo are, they're like $30, and they're like
expensive.
They're twice the size of the regular Smash Brothers ones. I saw the video of it, they're taller, but why? Why do they have to be so big? Is it because of the detail of them, or what?
Because they're leaning more into the collectability of figures.
Sure, yeah, but $30,
the games.
and there's also
You could have made them the same size and then made them 15.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
true.
well, there's also amiibo cards for all the other characters, which is interesting. I didn't realize that until I watched the gameplay of it, and also when I was watching the Treehouse, I was worried because it didn't show the extra characters on there, but I had only watched it without the sound on, and they're like, oh well, this isn't actually all the characters. The other one will have all the other characters, but this one doesn't. Because I'm like, where the fuck is Terry Bogard and Maya at? They better fucking be in there. But when I'm watching the trailer again, it shows Terry Bogard in there for all the extra people. So
yeah,
I'm very excited about that game.
I want a woolly Terry
Street
Bogard.
Fighter 6 is really good. I was telling Shake that Shake's going to get it, so we'll play it online. And also they cleared up they basically said the same thing that I said, but Nintendo said it. The reason why the other games on the bottom of your screen control so badly is because they want to put all the effort to the game that you're actually playing, not what you're watching on the bottom. Which I said that last week, even though I probably slurred it, but I did say it on there. And yeah, they're basically saying that again.
They're basically saying
who cares?
you can't do it, so that's why we're not doing it.
Maybe, but yeah, they're it's like that. It's just for reference, I guess, just to see what they're doing. But you don't need to see it in 60 frames or whatever, because whatever you have featured will be what runs well, and everything else will just run whatever
And actually,
at 10 FPS.
I thought initially watching that is if those other three videos on the bottoms were smooth, that actually might be distracting. It might draw my eye down to what's going on the bottom screen too much. I think it's fine just the way it is. I don't mind it being a little choppy, whatever. Another disappointing.
I want to see my friends' games in full. I want to be able to peep on y'all playing and watching. Full.
One thing and I don't think you can. I would like that if I could just focus on one of them on there and make that look better, but I don't think you can. From what I've heard, that even if you bring up your friend's one to the full screen, it's still going to be choppy. So that's unfortunate, because I would like to be, if I was watching, I'd love to play Xenoblade and watch where Jeremy's at on Xenoblade, or play it and see where where you're doing Tears of the Kingdom, whatever, or anything, or play and see where
just think
where
back
Joe
to
is on
you helped
Fortnite
me,
or whatever,
You helped me play through Mario Kart. Mario 64. Why couldn't you just watch me play on the Switch, so we could be chatting while you watch me play?
Yeah. Right. Well, yeah. It's
That would be so cool.
The frame rate on the bottom was
cutting out
probably the same frame rate as Mario 64 was. So.
Lies. Mario 64 probably has a better frame rate than it actually does on the Virtual Console stuff.
But you remember when you played Mario 64 though in 4-player mode, the frame rate would
there was no 4-player on Mario 64. You're thinking about Mario Kart 64.
On Mario Kart 64, yeah.
I say Mario never had any 4-player.
I did actually,
and it didn't have bad frame rate either. I played that game recently on cartridge, and it's still fucking good. It's like when they re-released Mario Party, or no, not Mario Party. When they re-released Paper Mario, Thousand Year Door, and it had half the frame rate that it did on GameCube. Same thing when they re-released F-Zero 64, it did not have the frame rate that it had originally on Switch. So
because it was optimized for the hardware it came out of.
Exactly. So I'm saying, don't say that. Don't knock Super Mario 64. It was a gem then, and it's still a gem.
There was one other bad bit of news about the GameCube controller. apparently you can only use it on the GameCube Nintendo Classics. You can't use it on any other game on the system.
Well, we'll see about that. I'm gonna try it out.
I have a feeling that's going to be.
I'm gonna try it out. I'm also gonna stick my Switch 2 and my Switch 1 dock and see what happens. Let's see if it blows up the house or not. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna film it.
Yeah, I would be really shocked.
I'm going to slide my magnetic Joy-Cons the wrong way on my Switch 1.
Apparently, you can. The people have done it.
Yeah, people.
I'm gonna put them together and see if they like push each other apart.
So Nintendo also confirmed that the C button requires an NSO subscription. So basically, if you don't have your NSO subscription, it's a useless button for you.
And to my question earlier, what if you don't have a controller with a C button, but you have an NSO account? What happens?
What is a pirate's favorite button on the Nintendo Switch 2 controller?
R.
No, 'tis the C.
I was gonna say there is no R button on there.
Let's see what else. Oh, the camera has another addition, which is a piranha plant, but apparently it's going to be heavily compromised.
Yeah, it's not
much lower. Yeah,
it's cheaper, but it's 480p as opposed to 1080p, which was what's confirmed for the other camera.
I do really like the way it looks, though. The piranha plant one, it's very cool. But I'm just going to use the camera. I already have 1080p cameras that I bought for like $40 off Amazon or whatever.
I'm using one right now.
I'm just going to use, me too, right there, this one. And I have another one behind me right here on top of the TV. I'm going to use that one and just put an adapter on there to USB-C and use that. I thought maybe we would like with my multiplayer friends, we'll just do one for one of the Monday night streams and see how well it works, and probably never,
I thought about trying to see if I
use
could
it
fit
again
my
after that.
Camera into the mouth of my Lego piranha plant, and then I would have the same thing.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you can make it on your own. I saw that Lego piranha plant finally last week. I saw it in person. I saw the extra stuff that you can't see within the frame here. There's a lot more.
Yep.
Yeah, that was basically the news that came out in the last week for Switch 2. So just like maybe an overall temperature check. How are you all feeling about Switch 2 a week out?
I feel if I was 100% when it was announced last week, I'm at about a 60%, maybe 65.
Oh, really? You're that low?
Yeah,
on
that's a big dip.
I've gone down a lot.
Oh,
I've gone down a lot.
I'm,
especially finding out that it's emulating the Switch 1, and there's an edition you can only get in Japan that's region locked. And
yeah, but you don't want that. You don't want that edition.
No, I don't want it, but it's like, I don't know. Nintendo's being very shrewd about.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
what they're letting us know, and I would have loved to have just pre-ordered it and had it coming to me, and just knew it was going to show up, and that's what I wanted, and so that's why that among many other things, including the GameCube controller functionality and all that,
that one really
keeps pushing me down. It keeps pushing me down.
Yeah, that one was really was just a really what the fuck thing. Cause
I never wanted a Steam Deck
because you could use.
And now people are telling me it's a little better than a Steam Deck, and I'm like, okay, well, I never wanted a Steam Deck, so why do I fucking care?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
I'm still hyped. I don't know.
I'm hyped. The wind has been lifted from my sails a lot.
I mean, I would have been more excited if we had pre-orders. I'm still worried about the pre-order.
Yeah, if we all
stuff.
had our pre-orders, I would be
now.
saying it's the best system ever. I would have such a different attitude right now.
I'm really excited.
About it.
I'm excited
Donald
to play
Trump
it.
has put a muzzle on Jeremy's enthusiasm for Nintendo. Like this guy is.
I mean, I do control a lot.
Who has from 466 episodes of a podcast that Trump could still fucking get to us. Fucking jerk ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still excited about it. I'm obviously going to get it, but
I ain't buying it for more than $500.
Yeah,
that's still a lot of money.
I did the math, and with the 40 whatever it was % tariffs in Japan, man, it was going to be like it was going to go up to like $750 for that Mario Kart bundle, and that's
so much.
Beyond ridiculous. Everybody's got a limit, even big Nintendo fans. It's like, the number was already pushing it. I
already did the PS5 things, so I'm the only one on the show who did I was following the PS5 hype, and it originally started with me not caring, and then eventually I was like, wait, now I need to buy one when I can.
Yeah, what did
And
you
I
get?
got it, and I like my PS5.
What did you get that one for? Like 600, or was it 5? Or?
It was $450,
Okay, that's not bad.
including the God of War Ragnarok, which I've never played.
Yeah, so you played that at all? Well, also, I mean, don't forget you pay the $20 a month for the premium, right? For the PlayStation Online.
So what I'm saying is,
Or no,
like,
you pay it yearly, so it's less.
that worked on me because I wanted to play. I wanted to play Elden Ring, especially on the highest, frame rate and stuff. And then I wanted to play all the other stuff. I mean, I had bought PS5 games already because you could just buy PS4 games that were automatically PS5 games. There was a lot to why I ended up getting that. I mean, ultimately, I wanted a console that output 4K because I had bought this big new fancy TV.
Yeah, I figured you wanted whatever the top of the line
Right.
console was at the time.
So now I'm like, is this really the space Nintendo's in now where I'm going to be like, well, I can't get it now. And then now it's going to be on the market for a while where you could get one, but you got to pay like $100 more through someone selling on eBay or maybe even more. And now I'm just going to have to wait around on it. And then by the time I wait around on it, like, is it even worth it anymore?
I mean,
you know what I mean? Like, I just don't want to feel that way about Nintendo. I want to be a day one adopter. And there's just all these, there's all these monkey wrenches that I'm just feeling so much more hesitant. And I'm more of an adult than I was than with the Switch One came
8
out.
years ago. Yeah.
Right. In a sense, I mean, I've got other things in my life that I can't justify spending all this extra money on a console. Like I want it. Mostly I'm just bitter that it's gotta be the new hot thing like the PS5 was. And it really is. I mean, it's PS5 all over again, and I'm scared.
Yeah, it's gonna be, I mean, we can't get away from that with how hot the Switch 1 was, which I mean, I don't think the Switch 2 is gonna do the numbers that Switch 1 did, but it's definitely going to be hard to find when it comes out. I was thinking about just doing our GameCube hunt again and just driving around. I could see myself driving all around on June 5th trying to find it selling somewhere where somebody didn't pre-order it or whatever, which I think is probably impossible, but I might try it if I didn't get a pre-order. Just drive around to various places that sell video games and just try to see if I could find a Switch 2 just sitting around somewhere, that sort of thing.
I was totally confident that I would be able to get a system until this last week when all this BS happened. It has taken a little bit of wind out of my sails too, for the system itself and for the price and all that. I'm fine with that. It's just like the anxiety over the uncertainty, the greater uncertainty, even outside of Switch and all that. It's just like nothing's really for sure, so I don't know. Yeah, it's got me a little nervous. But here's what I think will happen. I think Nintendo has taken a week or two to figure this out. Not much longer, because that thing is releasing on June 5th. Supposedly.
Well, they did say, that they weren't going to delay the launch, like when they delayed the pre-order.
They said they weren't going to delay the launch. I think
they're going to try to hold true to that as much as they can.
I think that whenever they make their decision, they're going to put it out in a tweet, and they're going to give us one more week advance notice to get a plan together and all that.
I'm guessing beginning of May. I mean,
beginning of May.
I saw people saying it because on the Nintendo shop, if you expressed your interest or whatever, it said that they would tell you on the 5th, but that was then. But also like you're saying, a couple weeks from now, maybe we'll be to May, that's what I'm thinking. If I was going to bet, I'd say first week of May is probably when we'll be able to actually pre-order it. And
my anxiety is just at such a high level that it never was with the Nintendo console before, and I hate it. I hate that I'm in this spot, and I know I'm making it very personal. I'm telling you my personal feelings, though. So
that's what we do on this. It's what we do on this show.
I hate it. I don't like how I feel about getting a Switch 2. I don't feel great about it. Whereas with the Switch 1, I just pre-ordered it, and then we went and played it, and I got to see it in real life before it got sent to me. That was such a nice
Oh yeah, and you ordered it online even, and it was sent to you.
Yeah.
Like we went to. I know just pre-ordered it for me, just because they found it like on Best Buy, and then we went to Best Buy to get it at midnight. And I wasn't even really that excited about it because I just wanted to play. I was like, I'm playing Zelda on Wii U, damn it, because it's a Wii U game. So I played through all of Breath of the Wild on Wii U, DLC as well on there. That's what I did.
I mean, it's more the world's fault than Nintendo's probably, but I'm still, as a lifelong Nintendo fan who has the means to buy a launch edition, I'm just feeling like I'm in a bad place right now about how I feel about this new Nintendo console, and hopefully that changes. But it's giving me the icks a little bit.
Well, hopefully we'll know more by next week. But I think that's good. We should call it there. I don't want to edit another 3-hour podcast.
Yeah, I need to go to sleep.
But yeah, no, we'll see what happens next week. I'm still kind of high on it. I would have liked to see more. I do feel a little bit better about the system. Last week I was like, oh, no PS5 exclusives, no PS5 exclusives. But like, from what I hear, like them breaking down like the new SD cards and the expresses, that maybe I just want the loading times to be quicker. Like all I really want is, Street Fighter 6. I played it on PlayStation 4. I love it. I just wish the loading was quicker. The loading is really long on that. If they can make that better, then I'll feel better about it. And kind of what I've heard, it seems a little bit better. And just the fact that, and Shake and I were talking about this, just the fact that like they have Cyberpunk 2077 running on there is kind of a big deal because it didn't really run at all on PS4. Like when it originally came out, they even refunded it to people and all that. Makes me feel a little bit better.
They've had time to optimize it for that console generation though. So
sure, yeah. I'm just hoping
it's a 5-year-old game.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that it doesn't get too left in the dust from being too behind like PS5 and all that, and just give me better load time and put fucking Marvel Rivals on there and Tekken 8, and I'll be happier. But anyway, yeah, that's that for this episode. Thanks everybody for listening. And if you want to listen to us ad-free and at a higher bit rate, go to patreon.com/NintenDomain podcast, and you can hear our stuff on there. For just $1 extra, you can hear bonus episodes on there as well. We have 71 bonus episodes on there as of right now, 71 plus. And we just did an episode about the last 5 Nintendo systems and our launch experiences with them. I thought it was a really good episode. You should listen to that on there for just $1. You can check it out on there. And also, you go to youtube.com/NintenDomain podcast. You can find all of the streams that I do on there. Also, I've been posting a lot of our older episodes. You can find calling them NintenDomain Classics. As of right now, there's 3 up there. We did our original Xenoblade Chronicles. I put up original Xenoblade Chronicles X episode. The first time we saw the reveal trailer and the first time we saw the presentation trailer of that. So those are on there. You can listen to us on there. And then, as we go on, I'm going to post the one like the first time we played it at the event. Like I'm going to keep posting those as we get to the launch of Switch 2. And then I'll play put our first first time we played Switch on there and whatnot. And you can find my stream at twitch.tv/NintenDomain podcast as well. And you can find us on Blue Sky, NintenDomain, and I'm Trey Johnson. You're Jer Domain on there, right, Jeremy?
Correct.
On Blue Sky. Yeah, go there. Blue Sky is a nicer place than that other one that we mentioned earlier but won't mention again. And all that stuff. And we've been your hosts. I'm Trey Johnson.
I'm Jerry Mikowski.
John Nitter.
And thanks, everybody, for listening. We'll see you next week.
Yeah.
It's like a squished Goomba there.
Turn the lights out. Flick out the switch, let it shadow up. 2,000 times now. I'm back in time to the corner shop.
I figure that I'm going to hear it tomorrow when I'm editing it, but this PSP is so loud. I'm just hearing it.
I didn't hear it.
It's like
I didn't hear it at all.
it keeps like reloading. I was going to say, if you feel bad about the Switch too, just go on down to Live Action Games and just buy yourself a PSP and some games for nothing, and you'll be having fun.
You're all good.
Whatever.